getting,
I hear.
Yeah,
He's
It's
getting
coming from
tasered.
you, babe.
Are you
Sounds like you're getting
tasering someone?
tased.
Let's
No,
stop
it
now.
stopped.
It doesn't going to now.
Oh, good.
All right, great. It might have picked up some feedback whenever I was going live. I'm just making sure that the YouTube channel is there. It is. Pop that out. Shy, if you can post an advertisement for me in the advertisement channel, saying that's the first episode, and also mention it in tabletop.
Yep.
I eat a limp, broken mozzarella stick.
Give me. Fax it
limp?
over.
Is it like just you can wave it around, kind of limp?
No, it fell apart.
Ah, okay.
Set never on.
Make sure you spell it properly.
2 B's, yeah. Ebberron.
E-B-E-R-R-O-N.
Ebberron. Okay, I just had the doubles. That's that.
I have problems spelling it too sometimes.
Yeah. Alright. Share. Copy link to tweet. And advertisements.
You would think that the options for audio and voice would be like at the top, but they're not. Ridiculous.
For
Discord.
OBS? Okay. Now you gotta go through the sub menu.
PC, it says that you are disconnected on the fantasy grounds.
Yeah.
It might be disconnected in general.
Yeah. He's gone.
Oh,
Does everybody have Sirenscape open?
I just opened it.
yeah, I have mine open. What would be a good color? There he goes.
Customary sound test.
Perfect.
Glory to the Cinder Eye.
Boo.
Waiting on PC yet, buddy. Just waiting on PC. Finally. Real reason why I got these steampunk dice. Alright, PC is restarting his modem. That gives me a chance to eat these mozzarella sticks.
I thought you were going to say eat these dice then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's how I get
The
all
real
my
reason I
powers.
bought them.
Mhm.
The real reason you eat them to eat them.
Just tell him because he just connected to the outside world. Okay, good.
What?
D&D Beyond.
It's because I just opened it.
D&D Beyond.
I'm surprised you got that though. I only did like a few notes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hang on. Take this too.
Huh.
Thank you.
Oh, that's where it is. Okay. I was wondering where that was. Okay, that's good. We're live now, right?
Yeah, we're live on audio.
Okay. It's gonna be weird. Starting again at level 1. Cool. But intimidating. Plus her stats are my character stats is not as robust as in this
And this is not robust either.
Go, Daddy.
Oh, now that's lemonade.
Yeah.
You're making me jealous you're getting lemonade.
Hmm. We went to the fair today and got fresh lemonade.
It wasn't as good as this.
Yeah. They needed to add a little bit more sugar to it. Hey.
Running it.
Hey.
Alright, you're back.
Yep.
Alright, do you have Siren Skip open?
Oh yeah, whoops, what about that? I remember where I installed it to open it.
How dare you, Sean?
There we go.
What?
And then
I believe that's supposed to go in tabletop.
once you get
Ooh.
that's fine. It doesn't matter where.
Alright, I'm in.
Okay. You're in fantasy runs?
Yep.
Awesome. Make sure you have your character selected. There we go.
Ooh.
Fun ship.
Ready? We are ready to roll, everybody. How are you guys doing? Good? Ready?
Good. See the airship.
I'm scared.
Oh wait, I need D&D Beyond.
Let's fucking go.
Let's hop aboard the scared ship.
Yes.
All right. Live now.
Woo.
Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome to a new campaign. We have with us a broken Twitch extension that I need to immediately fix. We're going not. This is not our live. Redo.
Back it up.
Back it up. This will be edited after the fact.
Back it up.
I can see
Okay,
people
cat.
that are not in this game.
Our cats are freaking out a little bit.
Oh no, wrong
It's
one.
the-
Gotta open this one.
It's the Doge.
Twitch.
Doge is sleeping on the ground.
My channel, video thing, extensions. Choose the right campaign. D&D, okay.
I like that one little triangle in the airship that belongs to and. I know what you were doing with it, but it's just and. One little triangle.
And
And.
oh,
Alright, the extension has been fixed. What are you even talking about?
In the captain's quarters and personal storage, and it has its own room.
Oh, yes.
Captain's quarters, personal storage, and
And
Yes. I figured that would be obvious. That's where you store the and at.
mm-hmm.
most important.
Alright, let's try this again. Ready to go now. Okay, we're totally live this time.
Yay.
The
Yay!
extension is
It's
fixed.
gonna work.
We have the tokens displaying the players that are speaking. We have Guts, who is in
Just-
our Friday night campaign, playing Celica, a human fighter.
Mhm.
We have Shai reprising her role as Saya, but this time as a druid.
Yes.
We have Point Caliber finally coming back to play some D&D with us.
Finally.
Playing as Syria, the
Yay.
human wizard. Does she have a specific school of wizardry?
Lightning.
There you go.
Here comes the lightning.
She is, in my headcanon, Azula.
Pretty much.
Oh God!
Minus the psychotic tendencies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just all the badassery, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Because the viewers have no clue as to the background of this particular series of events, I'm going to read a couple things, and as I read things, I'll also copy them over to the chat by doing that.
Ooh.
Yes. All right. So it is the 14th of Ire, the year is 1001 YK, 5 years after the Treaty of Thornhold was signed, marking the end of the last war. The dawn... Sorry, Jax is doing stuff. The dawn sun creeps over the Redwater River to the east. A gradient of pale blues and reds gives way to the first beams of daylight. The fierce rumble and crackle of a fire elemental pulses through the arcane matrix of Horizon, a House Lyrander airship. Its soarwood hull creaks and groans as the ship lurches upward and away from its hold in Vaelnar's capital city, Tir Valestas. A few clouds stand out as stark pink against the still blue-gray sky to the west. The largest moon, Zerantur, is still full and bright as it begins to set. A cold wind sweeps across the deck of Horizon, a wind that would give way to warmth as night gave in to day. The crew tie off their last ropes and do final checks as the ship begins its voyage towards New Sire. It was an odd destination, as the settlement is just that, no more than a settlement. The sole patron of the ship had paid well to make this journey, and hired plenty of protection for her journey there. She had a handful of her own guard, veiled men and women who wore short spears and small shields. The woman was only referred to as the princess. Along with her personal guard were a dozen or so hired guard, adventurers and mercenaries alike, all of which had seen only glimpses of the princess, who wore dark green robes and a veil similar to her closest guards. Dangling from her hooded veil were bits of gold that looked like small crowns. She was not to be seen on deck this morning, though. Most of her employ were down in the holds, enjoying themselves among Corvair's finest airships. It is here that we find our party and our adventure begins. We are in Act 1, departing Tir Valestas. The long shadows of morning begin to shrink in the light of the rising sun. The tall wall of living bronze wood still casts the city in darkness, save for the peaks and domes of its taller buildings. The royal palace of the High King, Sheris Vadilia, gleams in the dawn light. The city itself is home to several dragon-marked houses. To the west and north lies vast grasslands that eventually fade into the sands of the Blade Desert. From here, you all can do as you wish. Familiarize yourself with the crew, check out the ship. We will be going in a little bit of a turn order. We'll start with Celica, then we'll go to Saya, and then Syria. As a heads up, if you ever need to cut in and it's somebody else's turn, just ... in the chat, and we'll address you.
Cool.
Like this.
Yes. All right, Celica, take us away.
All right.
I forgot some music.
Okay.
You can
have
go
me
ahead.
worried for a second.
Yeah, go ahead.
Are we still at port? Or are we actually in flight now?
We are in flight and making ourselves well away from the city. I can also bring up our map of Corvair.
Mm.
If you look out over towards Vailnar, zoom in. We're just
Purple
starting.
arrows?
Yeah, that's the purple arrows mark our trek towards New Sire. It's expected to take a couple days, I do believe. This in the background here.
Can we get some wind blowing sound effects? Like,
I'm sure I could find some.
Whoosh.
I just try not to overload the viewers is all.
Okay, so I was distracted for the last couple minutes. We're leaving Tervelastas, and we're on that arrow path, New Sire.
Yes. And it's expected to take about a day and a half to 2 days.
And we're just taking off.
We're outside of the large living bronze wood
Okay.
walls of the city.
Okay. Are we part of the crew or hired?
hired.
No, you
Hired
are
guard.
hired for protecting the princess.
Okay.
All right,
The
Guts.
Expendables.
Go ahead, Guts.
All right. Well, seeing as we just left, I don't think anything bad's going to happen right now. So I'm going to
Just then a meteor. Looking for some
Cosmic dragon.
entertainment.
Sharknado.
Sharknado.
All right. So, luckily for you, this wonderful airship, one of House Lyrander's finest, has its own large deck specifically for entertainment. Is that where you would like to go?
If it's entertainment where I get to play games, yes.
Sure, it's got several different kinds of entertainment. You hear as you walk into what seems to be like a luxury tavern. There's fine polished wood tables and booths with leather-backed cushions. A lot of the woodwork is embroidered with silver and gold overlays. Yes, I can. Music is playing. There is a single bard, and he is not just playing one instrument, he's playing multiple instruments. All of them are basically going to this tune that we're listening to right now, which is Maiden of the Sky. If you've ever been on an airship, it's a common voyage song. Basically, a good luck charm. There are some people playing at cards. Most of the hired mercenaries are essentially just keeping themselves company, talking amongst their own little cliques, basically. But you do see, let's see here. There is a long-tooth shifter sitting at the bar by himself. He kind of runs a finger around his wine glass. He takes a sip and he sees you, and he gives a small nod.
I'm not back.
Jax is rolling a dice. Ignore these.
Alright. So you nod back, and he opens his hand, gesturing if you would like to sit next to him.
He seems to be the one that caught my eye first, so yeah.
Alright. Well, the barkeep, as you sit down, the barkeep asks what you want to drink, and this gentleman, he says, "Elavir, at your service. Your drink is on me."
No. Stop.
Oh,
That's enough.
well, thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
So, you order away. Is Celica a wine drinker? Ale?
Give me something hard.
A morning whiskey?
How about 72 shots?
The bartender, the barkeep, grabs a cup and holds his hand over this glass cup, and a ball of ice forms in the cup. And he reaches back for a fine whiskey and pours it over this orb of ice and sets the cup down in front of you. Gives you a small nod.
I'll take the glass and I'll nod back at him.
"I did not get your name," Elavir says to you.
Ah, yes, sorry. I forgot. The name's Celica.
Celica. Very nice. Tell me,
That's the new bard.
did you serve?
Serve.
Yes.
She'll take a drink at this point. Guess you could
Start
say I
Blade Runner
served.
speech.
Okay, we gotta stop Jax from doing that.
It's the new bard.
That's too loud for that, buddy. Too loud.
I've seen things you
Alright.
people wouldn't believe.
So what do you say? He asks if you served in war, is what he's getting at.
I guess you could say I've served, yeah.
I would say that most of us have. I too, in the northern reaches. Who did you fight for?
Well, not the winning side, that's for sure.
There were no winners.
Exactly. She'll take a drink. I've fought in wars, yeah. I fought with, I don't know if you know them, the Sentinels.
You have my deepest sorrow. You were of sire?
Was, yes.
Aye. A pity what happened. He looks over to the bartender. Her next one, too. with that, we're going to cut over to Saya.
I am kind of like at the edge of the airship, you know, how the railing.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm looking over, like I'm excited.
Oh no.
Oh no.
The small one?
That was size inner thoughts.
Yeah. Right. All right. We will cut over to Syria in the meantime.
I'm also along the railing.
Okay.
Nostalgia, full of nostalgia, looking back at the city, never being out this far before,
Mm-hmm.
and then decide to go down to the entertainment deck as well.
All right. So down there we go. Not much has changed in way of previous description. Celica, you see Syria enter. Syria, you do notice that there are several members of the guard of the mercenary force that are engaged in some games. None of them seem to be broken off by themselves anymore, though. What would you like to do? You see them. There's games of dice and games of cards.
No dragon chess, huh?
No dragon chess.
Pity.
But you might be able to gather me up an insight check and
Alrighty.
see if you can pick out somebody
Figure
who
out-
might be smart enough for dragon chess.
I will divine by the look of their face how smart they are.
All good? Okay. Alright.
Oh, whoops. Wisdom. There we go. Let's do this. Oh shit, I didn't roll in the right place.
Alright. You glance around. Let's see. I'm sure there is. There we go. You see one woman. She seems somewhat prideful, perhaps snobbish. She has a lot of earrings, all joined with chains, and then they kind of link up to a nose ring. She glances up at you. What?
Must be big ears or something. She an elf?
Yes,
Oh shit.
she is an elf.
Oh shit. Alright, let's do this.
Alright, so you're gonna walk over and ask if she wants a game of dragon chess?
Yeah. Politely
Alright.
ask.
Alright. She sizes you up and steps away from the game that she was playing, which was a game of cards. It looks like Three Dragons Ante. She was doing okay. She wasn't doing amazing, but it doesn't look like she really lost any money either.
Hmm.
She asks, "What would you like to wager?"
What do I got in my pockets?
Wait, did you say everything in your pockets?
No, I gotta see what I
See
have
what you
in my
got. Okay.
pockets. How about 5 gold pieces?
5 gold pieces. Yes.
You balling up in here.
Yes. And she stands up, and you two find an empty table with enough space for a dragon chess set. You said you have your own?
Yeah,
Okay.
part of my tools.
All right.
Why is that a tool?
For some reason, they listed games as tools. I think it's just to reduce the amount of checks needed.
So I'm looking at a wiki page of Dragon Chess now.
Mhm.
I should have looked this up before.
Mhm.
What, is it actually 3 levels?
It's
Oh my god.
yeah, it's like the one in Star Wars.
Oh.
Yeah. Was it Star Wars or Star Trek? It was Star Wars. But your particular set is also animated. Has
Oh,
little
wow.
animated pieces, which is pretty commonplace in Corvair.
Neat.
like only peasants would play with like little hand carved kind of back alley dragon
Cool
chess
people
sets.
stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So you set your set down, and she gives you a nod of appreciation. She recognizes good craft, and she asks who's going to be making the first move.
Ooh. I'll allow the invitee to go
She
first.
gives a small bow. Thank you for the follow, entity. She gives a small bow, and she moves her piece, and we are going to have a battle of wit, which would be intelligence or wisdom. You would be making a check with those.
Cool. Yeah, I'll go with intelligence on this one.
All right.
Use my fat neurons in my brain.
All right.
Oh boy. Don't fail me now, Iron Jesus.
Nice.
All right, you recognize her position as a pretty standard opener. It doesn't leave her too defenseless, but you look up on the third piece, on the third deck of it, and move one of your pieces forward. And she raises a brow, looks up at you from across the table, and she smiles. And we go over to Saya.
Alright. So, I was gonna do something different, but I don't want to be by myself.
No, you can. It's okay. This is the opening is roleplay to get
the
everybody.
thing is, she's excited to be on an airship. This is the first time on an airship, but
There's
it's terrifying.
crew and other guards around. Like not
I know.
everybody's in the entertainment. Okay.
Okay, so she's gonna be like looking over the railing, but she's gonna be almost laying on the deck, looking over the railing.
All right. So that is going to summon somebody from the crew. Let's see who.
With your claws like into the deck, holding
Yeah.
it.
Right. All right. Somebody dressed in House Lyrander robes stalks up behind you. Says, "Are you okay?"
Is there a railing above my head?
Yeah, yeah.
I hit it.
Bonk. All right, she offers her hand to pick you up, to help pick you up. And she says, "Callus at your service. If you are afraid, I recommend heading below deck. But I assure you, you are safe here."
I'm so excited, and she's like, just like as sturdily walking to go below deck as she could. Like, it's very awkward. She's trying to be grounded.
In Torin and Fervis's care, you should not have any worries. She's referring to the pilot and the name of the elemental.
Saya will thank her before heading below deck.
Before sliming down the stairs.
Yeah.
So yeah, you like slowly work your way over here.
Yeah, I'm like, I do the whole thing where you sit on the steps
Mhm.
and then kind of like
Drag yourself.
put yourself down.
Drag yourself down step by step.
All right.
I'm not on the ground. I'm not comfortable.
But you're sort of like crouch walking with your arms
Yeah.
like just off the ground, so in case you
Yeah.
gotta like steady yourself.
As you're making your way down, the ship kind of lifts up a bit, and you hear the Soarwood kind of creak and groan.
Turbulence? Oh no.
No, not really turbulence. It's just that like an unexpected elevator lift.
Oh yeah.
So it lifts
Okay,
up a little
so-
bit.
So you know the scene in Spirited Away where she loses her balance going down the stairs and she just like starts running and hits a wall?
Mm.
Yeah.
You hit the hall at the end of the stairs.
Yeah.
Somebody passing by notices and just says, "She's new to airships." and continues on their way.
I'm picking myself up and just trying to find my way.
If you would like to look outside with protection between you and falling, the port view section would be the best. It actually kind of extends out a little bit from the ship, as you can see in the top, and it's large panes of glass to look out with.
Yes, I will go there.
All right. So heading down there, you find Princess and 2 of her guards.
Oh.
They are both standing silent behind her as she sits in a large, like a high-backed, fine cloth-covered chair in emerald color. And you see that some other people are here kind of sitting next to some flower pots and things. Most of them are talking very quietly amongst themselves. The 2 guards that you see, they kind of just look back behind them and spot you and then turn their attention back forward out of the glass.
I want to look out the glass.
All right. You walk forward, and there is a small, like, railing that prevents you from pressing up against the glass.
Mm-hmm.
But you look out, and you see that Tervala Stas is just a small speck in the distance now.
Oh.
What was that? Was that a dog?
Yes.
There's a dog on the ship.
Yes.
Dog doesn't
She might
like
need to.
heights
She
either.
might need to go outside.
I might need to go out. Yeah.
All right. So we're making our way across Vailnar. You want to go ahead and take her out?
downtown.
Yes.
Taking her out.
Take her outside, and we'll go over to Celica.
Okay. My garden's looking good.
So Celica and Elavir. You two talking
Getting a
back
bit
and forth.
chatty.
Yeah, talking back and forth. You learn that he is a mercenary who fought for the halflings in the Tidalenta Plains. He actually fought against the Vailnar elves to help keep the halflings' territory.
Nice. Impressive.
Yes. And you served the sentinels.
Yes, that's right.
So border guard.
Yeah, you'd think something called Border Guard wouldn't get as much action as it did, but it was during the war.
Oh, yes, during the war, the borders were the worst places to be.
Mm-hmm.
Do you play any games?
Ah, I'm glad you asked. I play many games. You got something in mind?
Humans and households. No.
I will be the father.
He reaches in one of his coat pockets and pulls out a well-worn deck of cards, just regular playing cards. He pulls them out and shuffles them just with one hand, kind of just bridge shuffling and everything. And he says, "Do you have any card games you would like to play?"
Are there any, like, in-universe, like, card games that they usually play?
Mournland Hold'em.
So there's the Sharn. The most popular is Sharn Suits, and what it represents is basically the house of games that the larger or more wealthy people play in Sharn between each other. The different suits of the playing cards represent essentially different wealthy people, and your whole goal is to get matching suits. But the higher the value, of course, the better. And this can be played between 2 to 6 people.
Alright.
It's a game where you have to know the decks well. You have to It's very similar to poker, basically. You have a couple of rounds where you're putting cards down and drawing new cards and betting between.
Okay, then. Sure, I can go for that.
All right. So he shuffles. You have a passive insight of what? Let me see here. I should have it right. Oh, I hope you guys like the layout for Fantasy Grounds. I updated it and hopefully made it a lot easier to understand.
Yes,
I
brings
like it.
It's a whole different air to the other campaign.
Yeah. All right. So you have a passive insight of 10.
Insight, it's 12.
Oh, I'm looking at your AC for some reason. Why did I do that? I'm looking at AC and perception. Your passive insight is 12?
Yes.
All right. So you think he might be kind of playing you a little bit. But you see that he's not cheating. He's not shuffling in any way that's favored to him. And in fact, he slides you the deck to deal the cards, since it's only the two of you playing. And he says, "Perhaps our first few rounds we do not bet."
Oh, this guy.
Probably a good idea. I don't have any money anyway.
Then when we do bet, perhaps we bet dare or truths?
Whiskey.
Yeah.
Whiskey, I like it. I like it.
He gives you a sly wink, and as you deal out cards, you deal out 6, and only 2 in your hand are matching. He looks up at you, and he raises an eyebrow, and he puts 3 cards down to get new ones. And so at this point in time, you could make active insight or perception checks. Or both, it doesn't. I'm not limiting you to any of them.
You shall only look at one thing.
Look at his eyes or the cards.
I'm going to go hard on his face.
Whoa.
Insight. Insight is what I meant. I'm trained in it too, so that's +2. Woo.
Jackson, if she's pooping, don't pull her. Let her poop in peace.
That needs to be added in a quote.
Uh,
All right. Well, luckily for you, Celica, he rolled a 1.
yeah.
You catch him perhaps looking elsewhere
You go the other way.
as he is trying to place his bets. You see that he is distracted perhaps with some of your features. He's not trying to, I guess, get ahead of you in the game so much as he is trying to come on to you.
Probably a good use of a distraction then in that case. I'll probably lean into it.
All right, you want to give a perception?
Perception, sure. This is 0, so I just roll it normal.
Mm-hmm.
Whee!
Nice,
Oh.
nice roll. All right, you see him very swiftly shifting his 3 remaining cards in his hand, kind of back and forth. It's known as a common just kind of tick that card players will have, just constantly move their cards around. But you notice that he's doing it with just one hand, like he just slides one through one finger and then moves it to the front, then moves the middle one to the back.
He know what he doing.
Yeah. He might be distracting you. Or as you look up, his eyes met with yours, and he says, "My 3 cards, please."
All right.
I need you to just roll a flat D10 for me.
D10.
Mm-hmm. Just drag and drop it into the box.
I haven't rolled a D10 in a while, and I've forgotten which one it is.
It's the third one from the
The one
right.
with the 10 on it.
Yeah, the one that
Yeah,
has
I was
10.
about to say.
I didn't want to say it that way. All right, thank you. You hand him his 3 cards, and I'm assuming you put 4 of yours down since you only had 2 matching suits.
You be right there.
All right. So you draw yourself. Roll another d10.
Whoosh.
Alrighty.
Ooh.
We'll come back to that as we go over to Syria.
Yay.
So you have made your counter move.
Which was the 19.
Yes, she believes that she has a good move on the middle deck. So she moves one of her pieces from the very back towards the middle. A move that you have come to know as the King's Straight. And she looks up at you, one eyebrow raised, and it is your turn. Int or wisdom?
Come on, intelligence. Oh no.
Well, it's not bad.
You see this maneuver and decide to play the poor man's gambit. And in this case, it allows you to move one pawn on the lower piece, on the lower deck, and one pawn on the upper deck. You move both of them. You look down at her, and she has a grin on her face. She moves.
Triggering her trap.
She swaps one piece with another piece and goes back to you. You may make another check.
That was all part of my plan to trigger her trap.
Hey, buddy.
I hope. Oh,
Oh no.
my neurons are not working anymore.
She says, "Are you perhaps distracted?"
Not at all. Seeing where you'll take this.
Very well, but you should know I play aggressively. And that King's Rush ends up being a trap for a third level piece. One of the pawns that you had moved is now hers.
Sometimes things needed to be sacrificed
For the greater good.
for the greater good.
Alright. Go ahead and make another check.
I did not.
The two of you
Come on,
are
Ari.
very neck and neck at the moment. Well, with the exception of the last maneuver.
Yeah.
You move a middle deck piece and take the piece that allowed her to do the King's Rush. So you flipped it back on her.
Sometimes you need not rush headlong into battle.
You are perhaps smarter than I assumed. She looks at the various pieces. So let us see what you do about this. And she makes a maneuver you've never seen. And it is, you've seen, but never used in such a way.
Or read about.
Yes.
I'm such
You
a
know
fucking
it.
nerd.
You know it as the scimitar. And it involves moving one of the more aggressive pieces in an L maneuver. And it allows you to do it twice if the second and third deck allow for it. And they do in this case.
No.
You may make your check.
Come on, don't fail me now.
You do what you think is best.
Nice.
Which is very smart. You counter that with one of your more stalwart pieces. You move into a defensive position. And she smiles again and says, "This is the Elven Dual Blades." And she performs a secondary scimitar, which takes out your wall piece. She is now winning by 2.
Oof.
And, in this case, you only need 5 to win the whole game.
Oof.
You may make your check. I'll have so close to 20. her taking your wall piece wasn't too terrible. You managed to sneak in an aggressive maneuver on the bottom deck. She kind of raises her brow, like she didn't expect that. And she says, "Perhaps you have played this with another elf." She moves to counter it. Your go.
Look, man, this is intense.
Mm-hmm.
Pressure's getting on.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
She moves her queen. You only have one queen in the game, and it is on the middle tier. And it is the shape of a dragon queen. And she says, "The queen's fire." And it just so happens that along with the dual blades maneuver and this, that she has laid a trap that claims not one but two of your pieces.
Oh shit, so she's got 4.
Yes. And you have, I believe, 1.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna blow my non-existent dice.
Yes.
Let's do it. Oh, oh!
That's a good one. You were okay with this. It put her into a very aggressive position. And with a maneuver on the 3rd deck, you take her queen, which is worth 2 pieces.
Hell yeah. All according to plan.
And she goes, "Ah, very, very bold." She
Thank you.
looks at her current board state and realizes that it's actually miserable. She decides to move one of her wall pieces and passes the turn back to you.
Okay, let's do this. Let's finish up. 4 and 3.
Ooh.
That spin.
That's
Yeah.
still pretty good.
You take that wall piece.
4 and 4. Oh god.
She pulls her head back onto her chin back onto her fist, and she stares at the board for several minutes. Saya, it is your turn.
Whoa.
So you see that Ter Valastas is a small city.
I guess she just kind of mumbled to herself like, "Oh, we're going so fast." She kind of just like squats down again.
You, with the sun coming up and kind of casting its light on the water, you can actually kind of see it heading northward towards your hometown of Chivern.
She pops back up. She's like, she's not touching the glass, but she's like leaning over that little railing.
Is her tail kind of like flickering back
Yeah.
and forth?
Yes, it is going.
Princess
She is excited.
Princess speaks up. "Is this your homeland?"
She's just like, "Yeah, that one over there," and she'll like point.
"I fear I do not have eyes as good as yours. What is the name of your home?"
Shit, let me look it up.
That is a strange name. Chivern. Chivern is... I literally just said...
Sorry. Just me.
Chivern.
Yes.
Jax. Good lord. And is it known for anything special?
Saya's just gonna give like she's
Ah.
gonna she's just gonna go into detail about kind of just like blabbermouthing, just like going off topic a little bit and talking about isn't it a candle making town now?
That's its main export is candles, yes.
Yes.
They're well known for crafting candles that not only last longer but make different colors and give very pleasant scents.
Yeah, so she'll just like go into detail. Like she's she turns around to talk to the person. I mean, she doesn't.
Yeah.
If this person's a princess, she doesn't do royalty. It's just a person. So she's just going into detail on like going off topic and blabbermouthing a little bit and like using tons of hand gestures about how they make the candles and stuff.
Okay. She seems fascinated, learning about the specialty of your home. And she says, "And what would you do to protect it?"
Everything.
She nods approvingly.
Mommy, what
She slowly stands up, and her two guardswomen standing next to her. She says, "I shall retire for a rest." The two guardswomen kind of look at Saya for a longer moment of time, and then they escort Princess back to the luxury cabins.
She will wish her a good night and go back to looking out the window.
But it's daytime. It's literally like
She's
just after
retiring
sunrise.
to her quarters. It's just it's a slip of the tongue, but she doesn't realize it.
She's like, ugh.
She heard, "I'm gonna retire to my quarters." Oh, okay, good night.
Princess gives a small chuckle. She says, "Enjoy the view." I just realized that I have I have coil binding, and all I can think of is the binding coil
Yes,
Bahamut.
binding coils of Bahamut.
of Horizon. All right. With that, we go
Jax,
over
bring it back, please.
to Celica. Celica,
That's a cheap move.
what?
Nah, sorry.
Celica, you have 4 suits in your hand. 2 of which are royalty.
Mm.
Do you try to hide that you have a really good hand?
Yes, I will hide.
Please give me a deception check.
Okie dokie. Deception, where are you? You're up here.
Show me your moves.
This is great. I have a -1. About 10.
So, you have a little trouble hiding your excitement, but again, he doesn't seem to notice. He pulls up his cards after kind of snapping to, and he smirks. You want to give me an insight check?
Sure. Insight +2.
He seems to have an okay hand.
Hmm. Hmm. Am I able to? I've got like 1 or 2 cards left that aren't with the.
Yes.
That aren't good, right?
Yes.
I'll put down 1.
Alright. He puts down 5.
Fuck.
Meaning he only keeps 1. Go ahead and roll me a d10 for the new cards. First for him, then for you.
Oh no!
And then for me.
Ooh.
What's up, sweetheart?
He picks his cards up and looks at you. You gonna give me another insight?
Sure. All these rolls.
He seems to have an okay hand still. Doesn't seem like he's got an amazing hand or a terrible hand, just an average hand.
Hmm.
You have
Alright.
you have 5 suits, 3 of which are royalty. There's no more putting any more back down. It is
Yeah.
a point in time where you would place your final bets, and he looks at you and says, "You know, I perhaps have a bet after all.
Oh.
A date after this job, if I win. And you name your price."
Kind of made it hard now. One night, I guess, for me.
What do you mean one night?
One night together, I guess.
Well, then you're betting for the same thing.
He's betting for a date. I'm betting for something completely different.
Oh. I see. Alright. He raises a brow and smiles. Very well. And he places all of his cards face down and awaits the dealer to reveal hers.
I reveal mine.
So you have 3 that are regular suits and 3 more of matching suits that are royalty. Or sorry, 2. You have 3 royalty and 2 normals and 1 errant card. He reveals his. He has 4 suits of royalty and 2 more matching suits.
Damn. I think that means he won.
That means he wins. He has a full hand of suits after putting all 5 of the other ones back.
Bamboozled.
Like she hits the desk a bit. Damn it, I hate losing.
Don't we all?
Well, I guess I have to live up to my end of the bargain.
He smiles. He says, I look forward to it after this job is over.
I
He's
will
gonna
too.
come collect.
Perhaps you would like a
Just-
breakfast.
Sounds good, actually.
He calls over the barkeep. You place your orders, and as you do, we cut over to Syria.
Finale.
Let's make that roll.
Okay. I got this. All part of the plan. One way or another. Let's go! No! Fuck!
You place one of your stronger pieces forward, and she counters it in kind. You tied. You need another roll.
Come on.
Both of you got your 13s.
Oh, good. Yes!
Very nice.
Yeah! 20 clutch. All part of the plan.
Well, so you can't
Calculated.
crit. You can't crit on skill checks, but you can max them out.
Mm.
You got a 22.
Mm-hmm.
You place your queen forward, mirroring her dragon's breath maneuver, and she tries to counter. She rolled a 21.
Oh,
You capture her last piece in your counter move, bringing you to 5 and her to 4.
yes!
You see her kind of awe-stricken, and she reaches in for her coin purse, pulls out 5 gold marks and slides them across the table and says, "Very impressive."
Thank you. I slide the 3 back to her and I take 2.
On my honor, you should keep these 3.
Very well then. I take them. Put in the
She,
perch.
she gives a
Put the...
low bow and says, "I perhaps have to brush up on my techniques. Mayhaps we can learn from each other at a later time." She eyes the 3-dragon ante-table.
Indeed. One day, eventually.
she takes leave and goes and sits with the other mercenaries at Three Dragons Ante. And you can overhear one of them saying, "She beat you, didn't she?" And she responds with just a smile and a nod, but you can see the anger that she gives this person. Yeah, she's like, "How dare you bring that up?" Like, she lost to you gracefully, but this person definitely ticked her off.
The button pusher person.
Yes. At that point in time, Celica, you're getting your breakfast, some fresh steak and eggs. That smell wafts through the air over to you, Syria.
Doesn't smell half bad. I get up and hobble over there. Still trying to stuff my dragon chest bag, or set into the bag.
Mm-hmm.
And see, do I see the this shifty shifter she's with?
Yes. They both are getting... their breakfast is being set down in front of them at the bar. And Celica, you hear somebody slowly approaching. Something hit the ground, and Syria is picking up a dragon chess piece.
Oh. My pieces! No. I'm like frantically picking them up.
Shy's...
How embarrassing.
Shy is just returning. Shy, we...
Yes, sorry.
It came down to a 13 versus 13 on the last dragon chess move, and then a 22 versus a 21 in DC's favor.
Nice.
By that much.
By that much.
All
by
part of the
one.
plan.
My goodness.
All right. You could, if you wanted to, peruse a menu. Otherwise, you know somewhat the rumors of these airships and how they often can make whatever you call for.
Obviously at varying prices.
Well, none to you.
Oh, yeah,
This
true.
is all
it's
paid
part of
for
the
by
guard.
the princess, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. I think I'll get... Actually, what is on the menu?
So the bartender, the barkeep, slides over a folded, waxed parchment, and as he does so, you unfold it, and a minor illusion rises up out of it, and it begins to kind of auto-scroll through various pictures of the food that they currently serve. From the traditional human steak and eggs kind of breakfast to the rumored elven sweet breakfasts, and towards the heartier, spicy dwarven style foods.
I'd love some steak and egg.
All right, there you go. The bartender gives a bow and asks if you would like a drink. He recommends Elverquist, which is an elven wine. Very fine.
Yeah, why not? You gotta have some wine with your steak.
He gives a nod.
But I pull out my goblet, my copper goblet from and put it in there.
He tilts his head a little bit. This is strange. And he says, "May I?" and asks for the goblet.
I give it to him,
All right.
and very carefully.
He is very delicate with it. He holds a hand over it, and frost begins to form over the outside of it. And he sets it back down in front of you, and he opens up a brand new bottle, still waxed bottle
Ooh.
of Elverquist.
Ooh,
Um,
that's that fancy stuff.
and it is made. Celica, your heart drops a bit. It is made from the Eberron vineyards.
Oh,
Oh.
So that came from your family, Celica. Celica audibly
Chilling.
groans next to you.
yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say actual in character move.
Yeah. The gentleman pours you half your mug of wine, as is traditional serving, and says that your breakfast will be out shortly, and your cup is nice and chilled for it.
Many thanks.
Low bow, and he returns to his work. Celica, what say you about this? If anything. If not, we'll go to Saya.
I'll probably try and see if I can order the same thing.
Absolutely.
Now that I know it's there.
Yes, after 2 shots of whiskey, wine's always great.
I don't know if that's true or not, but I'll just go with it.
Gotta detox from all that whiskey.
It's a familiar scent as he pours you a fresh, chilled wine glass of Elverquist. It brings back flooding memories of the roaming vineyards that your home lied on. Your main home was set atop one of the higher hills that seemed to kind of roll endlessly to the north. And the smell just brings back memories of childhood. Being able to kind of stomp on the various grapes to get all the juice out, and the tapping of barrels so that way they could ferment, checking their levels and all that. Basically learning the craft from your family when you were very young, before you got windswept in the war as it made its way closer to home. You have this kind of thought before the wine even touches your lips, and then you take a sip. And
It's like the scene in Ratatouille.
yeah, it's exactly that. It's exactly that. All the memories flood back.
That's intense.
She'll look into her glass for a bit in memories, and then she'll just side comment to how do you say the names? Is it Syria or Syria?
Yeah, pretty much.
Syria. Be sure to enjoy that as much as you can.
Of course, darling.
There, no.
All right, steak and eggs come up not long after the fact. The great thing about having mage rights is food comes fast and hot.
And perfectly medium rare.
Yeah, the plate arrives. It's a cast iron flat plate that brings still sizzling food. And it's
so
gone.
Hungry right now. Like, I'm actually so hungry right now.
That's the worst thing, if ever role-playing with me, is I describe all the foods. and them drinks. Saya, we take it over to you. As we're rolling along in the breeze, the ship does an occasional kind of dip up or dip downward, but you're getting used to it. It's no worse than being on a boat.
Yeah. So I'm gonna stay in the port views until we pass my town.
We won't be
And then
passing your town.
Yeah, but like until it's out of sight is what I mean.
Well, so what I was describing earlier is that we're so far away we couldn't actually see your town. It's just you could see the river going in that direction.
Oh, okay. So I'll stay for a couple minutes, just to see if I can see it. Like I'm squinting, and then once I've gotten my fill, I'm gonna go look for something to eat.
Yeah, you see Areolan, and you think that that's your town. and then as it kind of like begins to fade into the distant fog of morning, the morning misty fog, your stomach growls loudly, and like everybody who's talking quietly in the room just kind of like stares at you.
Yes, I will go get food.
All right. So you head over to the luxury cabins. I mean, the regular cabins. I mean, the crew court. And then you finally, about 20 minutes of wandering, find the entertainment quarter.
Awesome.
I
will see. Okay, I have a question for you two. Did we get hired as a group?
You got hired with
did.
all of the mercenaries that are on here. So,
but us three.
No, you did not get hired as you three together.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just sort of all they're in the right place.
There
all
was
together.
there was that option in session 0, the character creation, but we all decided that we were just part of this.
Individual.
Yeah.
Now, you could go to entertainment or dining, but entertainment's closer and you can smell your way to it.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
eventually.
Yeah. I'm gonna get me some food.
All right. So you bust in quite literally. Just bunk. The door just opens wide. The musician barely stutters his 3 musical instruments that are floating in front
She
of him.
does the
He
does the
goes
Eric
off.
Andre. Let me in.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the harps just kind of goes cling.
Yeah, he goes
Off
off
key.
one note.
I heard that.
You smell
Like someone.
steak and eggs just steaming in the air. You see 3 people eating at the bar.
Yeah, we'll
a
eat
long
some of
tooth
that.
shifter and 2
Oh.
human ladies.
So hungry.
Are those like the bartenders?
No, that's the 3 people that are eating there.
Oh, okay.
The barkeep is a kind of tall, dark-haired, handsome gentleman,
Okay.
and he is currently running his hand over a metal basin, and you can see frost kind of forming over it, and small chunks of ice forming under his palms.
Okay.
Magic
Yeah,
hands.
I want some food.
She just walks in. I want some food.
Yeah.
He says, perhaps you would like to see a menu?
Yes, please.
All right, and he slides you one of these wax folded parchments. You open it up, and in front of your face is a scrolling wall of what looks to be like holographic food items. It's just moving
Oh,
various
who's
meats.
she sitting? Who's
Hi,
she
Kat.
sitting closest to?
Probably Syria.
Yeah.
I shuffle slightly away.
Slightly closer towards Celica.
Pretty much.
So away from the shifter and towards the other human.
Who's with a shifter?
Who's with a shifter?
That shift is being body blocked by said human.
All right.
Uh,
Do you want something spicy, something savory, or something sweet, or something of all 3?
mm,
Porque no las dos.
let's
She orders one of everything off the menu.
Oh no. That's for later.
uh, okay. I'm not really as refined.
No.
I is just gonna be like, can I just get something like something chewy and juicy?
Something chewy and juicy.
Chewy and juicy. Those are my cravings.
Most of the people who are near you, including those that are currently playing the 3 Dragons anti-game, just kind of all turn their head towards Saya.
No.
The barkeep, though, he keeps his composure and he
I was
nods.
like, I'm just blushing. I'm like eyes straight forward and blushing.
He nods gracefully and slides the parchment away and steps into the back. And several minutes later, he comes out with a large haunch of roasted Roar-hold ram's leg.
Oh, that'll keep you busy.
Yeah.
Oh god.
There are some what looks to be like long squashes, sliced, kind of decorating outside of it. That way you get some vegetables.
Some vegetables.
Yes. And he says, if you would like something else, just let me know.
I will thank him.
He pours her let's see, very light,
Orange juice.
very light pale ale
Okay.
in a chilled mug.
Yes.
Does she
Just give
drink
us
it
some
with
I'm
both
going to
hands?
town on it. Going to town. No
No, she-
silverware.
no,
Hands
no,
in.
she puts her hand into the drink and tries scooping it out.
No, she puts her face over it and starts licking at it.
Yeah.
It's lapping it.
Or you can hear trying to suck it like.
You know how like you have a skinny glass and then one of those big fluffy cats and they go to just like stick their face in there and it somehow yes, or that good.
Celica,
I'm going after that haunch.
you look over and see Alavir, and like he's kind of like, you know, the girl that's in the back seat of the car gif, and she's kind of bewildered looking.
I think yes.
He's making that face of like, you can
like
almost
an
see it on
embarrassment.
his face of like, she gives all of us a bad name.
Do you know
Oh
her?
my gosh.
No, that's just like the look on his face.
Oh,
He hasn't said anything.
Don't
He's just
make
like,
stereotypes about me.
it is because of you that stereotypes exist.
Hey, red pill of the day. Stereotypes exist.
So the four of you are enjoying your breakfast.
Trying to.
You can see out of a side window a brilliant red-orange glow, and you can actually feel the ship begin to accelerate. Syria, you would probably understand that as the elemental is just kind of finally at a distance or at an altitude or something where it can set a better cruising speed.
Gotta go fast.
Mm-hmm. So after your breakfast, what would you guys like to do?
Well, seeing as I'm supposed to be guarding someone, I suppose I should at least do some patrolling. See if everything's working fine around the ship.
All right. So,
I go to the port views.
port views, we're going to put you right here for patrolling. Saya, what would you like to do after breakfast? You're muted.
You're carrying her haunches around.
She still has the bone.
It's gonna take me a while because I'm getting all the meat off of there.
It's just covered in juices.
Like,
Yeah.
half of the people that were in
Oily.
entertainment have left now.
Oh,
Just like,
Oil all over her hands, all over her face.
yeah.
And she
Yeah,
didn't even
you
try
should
to
be
give us
like-
rush.
She's literally she's the Beast from Beauty and the Beast.
Tony, do you
That's not
remember?
fair. Adam at least was civilized.
Do you remember that time when you made the bone broth and I was like, hey,
yeah,
what are you gonna do with that leftover piece?
the bone.
Yeah,
With
and
the
I was
meat
like, give it
fragments.
to me, give it to me, and I just like,
That was her snack
just
for 2
gnawed on
hours.
it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like,
Protein?
Yeah, so Saya, you finish most of it and probably begin to walk around with the bone still afterwards.
Yeah, it's just like it's just
The
a
barkeep gave you a cloth napkin to be on your way with.
chew. Awesome. I'm gonna
You'll
tuck
need
it in
this.
my belt. Tucking it in the belt. And,
All right.
and
Does she actually, I just forgot. Does she wear shoes?
no.
Okay, so she just her feet slapping everywhere.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It just makes it
No.
cuter for some reason.
She's
The
got
beans.
she's got the bean tippy taps.
Mhm.
All right. So we'll hit up Syria first. We're moving at a pretty decent clip now. Let's say it is roughly 10 to 11 a.m. The clouds in the sky are kind of being burned away by the morning sun. You can tell it's probably rather warm if you were to go up on deck.
mm.
But for you, you're looking out north,
Oh, cool.
across the rolling plains, the flat grasslands, and
The
you can
Blade
kind of
Desert.
see, you can start seeing some of the glimmering sands of the Blade Desert, and it kind of just reinforces that feeling of like finally leaving us all behind. Kind of, like, look at this. It's just bleak nothingness.
I think to myself, no wonder why they try to keep me home so much.
Yeah. It's just nothing to look forward to as you're kind of looking out of the window. That's the feeling that you get. Somebody,
regret.
yes, somebody, let's see, walks up next to you. Kind of gruff man. You notice his tricorn first, and kind of see the grim, hardened face under the tricorn. And he says, "Whole lot of nothing out there, ain't it?"
McCree, what are you doing here? Indeed there is. Not how I expected it to be.
It's like that everywhere. Whether it's trees or mountains, it's just a bunch of nothing.
At least there's something in those trees, unlike that desert.
Yeah, but was it all worth fighting for?
I wouldn't know. Suppose one day we'll find out.
Name's Daniel. No joke, like...
Random roller.
It's Daniel Grantham.
That's a really fancy way of spelling it. I'd just give him my first name and leave it at that.
Well,
as I'm
pleasure
filling
meeting
with
you.
my goblet. Likewise.
So, what do? You sling spells?
Something to that effect, yes.
You look like it. Look like you know what you're about. Like your mind's set on something.
Can't get past how Western he is.
I mean, technically for her, everybody's Western.
Yeah.
True. But the accent is perfect.
He says,
I sort of just nod my head.
Me grew up in Brayland, fought for Brayland, almost died for Brayland. What'd it get me? Nothing.
Well, still alive and fighting, my friend.
He looks over to you and goes, right you are, little lady. Right you are. You ever been on one of these before?
I think real hard. I think super hard. And just say, no. Seen them plenty of time, but no.
My second time. Strange to get used to, kind of like a boat. I ain't got the legs that are ready to wobble, you know.
Haven't been on a boat either.
Give me boots and a horse and I'm happy. I'm good to go. Ain't nothing like that these days anymore. Not really. You want to get going somewhere, you gotta hop on a train or take a ship, whether by sea or by air.
I think I'm starting to prefer boots on the ground, as it were.
Well, you can trust your boots. You know where they're gonna take you.
Keep your feet on the ground.
And you can trust the ground.
He gives her a nod and says, well, pleasure's all mine. I'm off. Got more looking to do.
I stay quiet and just drink more of my goblet.
You hear
Not
his...
to be rude.
Yeah,
I'm so Austin thought.
you hear his boots kind of clapping away. no jingles, no spurs. Just that hard, that hard,
Oh,
jingle,
man.
jingle, come on!
hard
We
rubbery
need the
leather.
song. Jingle, jangle, jingles.
I've got spurs, jingle, jangle.
All right, Celica, you are patrolling. Can you give me a perception?
Sure, with disadvantage.
Not with disadvantage because you are also using your hearing.
Oh, okay then. Perception 0.
Activate day vision goggles.
Ooh.
Beautiful.
What was that noise?
Huh?
By the
Guess it's
gods.
just my Guess that was my imagination.
It must have been the wind.
On the inside.
Whose footprints are these? Oh, they're mine.
Alright. You, with your terrible perception, get run
Probably a
into.
bit tipsy too.
Yeah, somebody runs into you, and they are carrying a tray of what looks to be like towels. And he quickly he was somebody who kind of peered over you, but is already now stooping down and scooping these towels up onto this silvery tray. And he just says, "You shouldn't. You should be watching where you're going. Really, you're not the only person on this ship."
Well, she was about to help.
You can.
Sorry.
You notice that he's wearing the House Lyrander colors, so you know he works. He's working on the ship.
Right, so he's a prick. Got it. Sorry, I didn't really notice you.
That's another problem. He scoops up the last towel. You're not paying any attention, are you? You could
Only where it
swear.
matters.
You could swear that as he walks by, you hear him say, "Just looking at the past."
Oh.
But he's already like 10 feet away by the time you realize what you think you heard.
Are you schizo?
I grip my belt a little bit harder and move on. My arm hurts.
He ran up to me full force. He hit me on the side where I don't have an eyeball.
Right? My funny bone.
Other than that, you notice some more hustle and bustle of the crew. Perhaps more so now that you're paying a little bit more attention. Even though the hall seems to be a little bit wobbly to you, you're not sure if that's the drinks or the ship swaying. Saya, as you roam the ship, can you give me a perception? You're still muted.
Yes. Where is it? I have advantage in perception.
I mean, if you say so.
I do.
I'm so used to my players just saying, "Hey, listen, I have advantage." All right.
Oh, it's +5. I forgot.
All right, so 15.
Yeah.
You see a large bronze scaly tail kind of flapping the ground around one of the corners of the hallways.
Mhm. I am intrigued. I investigate.
All right. Are you trying to be sneaky, or are you just kind of
No,
walking
no,
over?
I'm just like walking over. Like, what is this?
So you see it kind of like flapping, hitting the wood of the hall floor. Plop, plop, plop. And then you start hearing talking, but you do not recognize the language. And as you round the corner, a bronze female dragonborn stands about 2 heads taller than you, and she glances back sideways and quickly puts away a yellow stone. But you know you heard her talking. She puts the stone away, pockets it, and says, "Yes, may I help you?" You notice that she has a scar that runs from the left side of the top of her head to the right bottom jaw, so kind of diagonally across her entire head.
Okay. Would I recognize the stone as like a sending stone?
You as a character have never really
Oh, okay.
come across
so my
that.
character would not.
You could roll an Arcana check, just a flat Arcana, just to see,
Okay.
because it's not unheard of, but I don't know if she's ever seen one.
Oh no,
No,
definitely
so-
not. That's a 3.
Yeah. So,
Wah.
she's never seen a sending stone. She's heard of
Well,
them,
it's
so
weird.
so it's probably like she could think that, but she wouldn't know it for sure.
Yeah.
So
So she's just gonna assume. She's just gonna be like, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your call.
Your call.
She tilts her head. Call.
Isn't that a one of those call signs?
Ascending stone.
Ah.
A cell stone.
Cell phone. I'm not sure. I've never actually seen one.
Yes, it is.
Oh.
She takes it out. I was talking to my family, but I see that you are one of our customers, so I must put it away. If you could, please do not inform the others of what I was doing.
Oh, yeah.
I shall ensure you get good turn-down service.
Okay.
She's like, I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is. Can I do
Okay.
a quick insight?
Yes.
Advantage on insight.
Okay.
With a +3.
She wasn't talking to her family, but she also doesn't seem to be harboring any kind of, I guess,
Malicious
yeah,
intent.
yes. It's more likely she was talking to somebody that would probably not be appropriate to talk to at work.
Yeah.
She
To
was
get that booty call
60.
going on. Alright, yeah. I will just continue on.
She was talking to the trade union
Hey.
leader.
Did not get your name. I am Letra.
She will introduce herself. While she still has the big phone in her hand.
Well met, Saya. She gives a kind of stooping bow to look at you.
Curtsy.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that she's like keeping eye contact as she bows.
Yeah,
So.
yeah.
Dragon curtsy.
Yeah.
So
It's
cool.
just like she kind of just like, she does a bow too.
When your head kind of comes back up to meet hers, you can see that like a couple of her teeth are visible on the right side of her mouth, where she's kind of like, that was not
That was
pleasant
a
to
bad
watch.
form.
Yeah.
Cringe.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm just gonna like awkwardly spin around and keep going.
All right.
I'm just like walking around, kind of like familiarizing myself with the ship. If it's gonna be a couple days.
Yes. All right. So as you, Celica, are kind of patrolling, and Saya's kind of patrolling, and Syria's kind of just in deep
Musing.
thought. Yes. We'll move time along a bit here. Get towards getting closer to evening. Around dinner time.
Into the Mournlands.
Over the Mournlands.
Oh.
We find ourselves all in the spacious dining hall. Saya, do you recognize several of the candles that line the long tables of the dining hall as made in your hometown of Shabairn?
Yes.
Ooh. My brother's cousin's uncle made that one.
I want to sit by my favorite one.
All right. She has.
I'm gonna roll randomly. Yeah, you pick my favorite one.
She has a tendency to like purple lotuses, and there's one that is carved and kind of peeled back to not only look like a purple lotus, but give off a very heavy lavendery scent. So you sit there.
Yes.
Celica, your stomach churns as you walk down these tables and see chilled wine in various steel buckets, and you recognize your family seal on a bunch of the still sealed wax tops of these wines.
How in the hell did he get all of these?
Well, you gotta keep in mind that wine is normally kept in storage for quite a long time. So these were long sold and traded. And
She's
considering,
probably just more surprised that she's seeing them now after all these years when she hasn't seen them in a while.
yeah, she sees them go, but doesn't really see them get used.
Yeah. She'll like just touch it for a bit and before choosing a table.
All right. Syria, I'm assuming you're going to try and find yourself a group of humans to surround yourself with?
Yeah, preferably as close as possible to either head of the table.
All right.
As it should be.
Princess and
As it
her
should be.
2 main guards are kind of, they have their own private area that's not exactly curtained off, it's more like beaded curtains.
Just obscured.
Yeah. And fresh food is teleported from the cooking areas to these tables. Very short distance teleportation to get all of the food to the patrons in a very luxurious manner.
So they said turn off all teleport devices when boarding and in flight. Otherwise it interferes with the instruments.
Listen, these are professional mage rights. So
they don't interfere with the instruments.
yes. They have airplane mode on.
Okay.
It's only local. Alright. So food appears before you. And it's kind of buffet style. You can, if you don't see what you like in front of you, you can go find where the food is that you do like and just take from there.
Savages.
Yeah, you see it as complete savagery. And you look over and you see Saya literally like ripping ligaments off of various meat.
Yeah.
I wish I
And
took
just throwing it on
Mayhem.
her plate. Do you have
It'd be like a cat with a
prestidigitation?
laser.
Nope.
Oh no. You could at least clean
What
your
kind of
hands,
mage are you?
right?
A lightning maid.
She zaps the disgust off of her. So we sit and enjoy a wonderful meal, followed by fantastic desserts, and a round of coffee for everyone.
Coffee. Ugh.
Or served black. No, Celica would probably
Oh god.
have lived on coffee for a while in the war.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean she likes it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Everything that happens to Silica is just like flashbacks.
Yeah, of some
It's
sort.
like the dog with the cupcake.
Da-da, 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 da. All right. So we're going to enjoy this meal. We're going to take a short break to grab snacks, go bathroom, whatever we need to do, and then we'll come back and enjoy our wild ride for the rest of the night.
Yes.
Alrighty.
Everybody, we're coming back. We're going live now. Alright. So, outside the dining area, the walls themselves have small glass portholes to look out of. And you could have sworn it was going to be a clear night. The day's weather had been so perfect. Well, a storm begins to brew to life before the airship. All the weather was expected to be fair, warm with a strong breeze in the skies over Vailnar. This storm, it roils and rages to the south from the direction of Stonefeather Spire. You're looking at the big map here.
Mm-hmm.
We're about here now. And back.
Just about to go over the moorland.
Mm-hmm. And it's swiftly moving north. The pilot, a dragon-marked scion of House Lyrander, he is working with the elemental to figure out what the best course of action is. And from your vantage point in the dining hall, it seems to be up and over and fast as the ship lurches uncomfortably forward and peaks up with enough momentum that things shift and slide off of the tables and kind of back to the back of the room. Not everything, but you can hear the crew beginning to kind of scramble, and a voice booms through the ship, and it's Torin, the pilot. He calls for all passengers to go and remain below deck. Luckily, you guys are already in the dining hall. Syria, you feel static gather in the air, and thunder cracks outside. You can see from your vantage point a fountain of lightning that flashes upwards and into the upper atmosphere.
Upwards?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit.
It seems to accent the ring of Sybaris glowing brightly in the skies overhead. The orange-red glow of Fervus, the elemental, burns pure white. A few minutes later, the first shakes of turbulence begin. We got turbulence! I need wisdom saves to become not frightened. This is the exact text from my notes, if anybody wanted them.
Oh, fuck.
Glorious.
I've never seen lightning go upwards.
Wisdom save. Oh, so it's just a +0, so it's just a normal 20. Hey.
Saya?
Okay.
Wisdom save?
So-
You're muted? Okay.
Wisdom save. Okay.
I don't have any wisdom.
We're all out!
Yeah.
But shouldn't she be immune from wisdom saves? She just can't do it.
Actually, I have a +5 in a wisdom save.
Oh, shit. Let's see it. Right then. Go on then. Prove it. Oh,
She's more concerned about the food that's spilling everywhere and trying to gather what she can.
My
As-
beans!
my cabbages.
Hey! Almost dropped my croissant.
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 Celica, this unfamiliar feel has you on edge. You just made the save. Saya, of course, you are unaffected. Syria, the lightning isn't what concerns you so much as it is the food that is beginning to rise upward in your stomach. You suffer the frightened condition, which means that you have disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls, while the source of its fear is in line of sight. The source of your fear is the ship. You can't willingly move closer. In this case, you can't willingly move yourself to the upper decks. You want to be low and protected as possible. You will get another chance to make this save, get rid of the fear as we go forward. But currently, your next ability check will be disadvantage. That's not a save, just a check. So your saves are unaffected.
Oh, my stomach.
Then the ship lurches on its
Wait,
right
we're
side.
entering the Mournland?
This is as you're going up and over now. It seems that the best course of action was to... where's my map at? There we go. The best course of action was to go up and over as the storm suddenly basically came out of nowhere. So the ship lurches on its right side, tilting dangerously. In a dexterity save.
Dexterity. What is my dex?
The other mercenaries are kind of holding on. You can definitely hear the audible like.
Oh no!
You can hear the audible like of some of the crewmates, or sorry, not crewmates, but the imposters, the mercenaries.
Saya's just like MJing it.
Celica.
She just leans back, smooth
Yeah.
criminal like.
Celica, you kick into your not quite fight or flight mode, but your battle mode essentially. You are prepared. Saya, this is not really an issue. You've been through the rapids of the Redwater rivers. Syria, on the other hand, Syria, on the other hand, not only frightened, but her chair tilted over, dumping her onto the floor, leaving you prone, and you basically slid 5 feet downwards.
He's out of the call.
Okay, he's back.
Oh, he dropped out of the call?
Are you back?
Yeah. No. I
Okay.
got one of those crashing gifs on another server.
Damn.
All
Got
right.
me.
So, Syria gets dumped off of her chair and slides downwards 5 feet. This institutes a second wisdom save for you.
Oh no.
Oh, I don't want a screen.
All right,
Oh, that's better.
that is better. You, instead of being frightened, are now just angry.
Yeah, annoyed.
Because food got dumped on you as you got slid, so fear overrode your fear.
My clothes
Anger.
are ruined. My day is a disaster.
The ship rights itself, and you hear kind of a muffled "crew overboard" from the deck of the ship. What do you do?
Shit.
I run up.
Do they have their? I hope they have their safety lines. God.
Yeah.
They connect the ground harnesses.
I guess we're supposed to go check anyway because that's our job to make things go well.
All right, so you and the mercenaries, several of the mercenaries are going over to the princess and her guards and are literally ripping the bead curtains away to make sure that they're all okay, and it seems that they are. You hear muffled commands and shouts from the deck above, but as you're kind of running through the hall of the regular cabins, you hear somebody shouting in pain. You hear, specifically Syria, you recognize the voice to be the elven woman that played chess with you.
Oh shit.
And she's shouting in pain, and seems to be stuck somewhere nearby. Do you want to give me a perception? Or if you want to go look for her, an investigation?
I'll do investigation. Where skills, investigation.
Do you go potty?
Go ahead and let her go potty.
I'm just running up on deck to help.
You are able to find her pinned under several crates that have spilled out of a large closet in the hallway. It looks like it was storage and cleaning supplies, essentially. But one of the crates landed directly on one of her legs, and you can see that it is severely broken.
Oof, like 90-degree snap.
Yeah. You
Ugh.
can give me a... Since everybody's close together, any of you can give me an athletics check to help free her, and if you want to give a medicine check to try and see what you can do about the broken...
I can definitely do athletics.
I'll do skills.
+3.
4.
I'll aid. If you said any of you can do it.
Oh no, I do have mage hand. I'm an idiot. I was looking at the wrong tab.
Alright.
Anyways,
So do I have 8 on this then?
No need. Saya is able to free.
Oh, okay then.
Yeah, she
That's
rolled
awesome.
enough to free. So you can actually help with the medicine check if somebody wants to make a medicine check.
I'll do the medicine check.
Alright, so Celica, with
Alright.
your training in war, you're able to give Syria advantage. So roll again, Syria.
Cool.
Oh man, it
Oh.
bounced on that 19 for a while.
It did.
It's a very bad break. You can tell that it's going to be some internal bleeding, but you are capable of, with what's surrounding you, you're able to make a makeshift splint, and you set her leg back. She does not pass out from the pain. Right after you get her splint kind of wrapped, there's a white light that flashes through the airship. Bits of sorewood splinter from the blast, and a burning hole is left from the lowest deck straight through the main deck, where a blast of lightning crashed through the airship. The hole is
Upwards.
right under where it looks like 2 people were, as you can hear them screaming, falling into the distance.
Oh, fuck.
It crashed and opened one of the cabins, and you can see another mercenary lifeless opposite of this hole, singed and burned. Screams and shouts are drowned out by the high-pitched ringing that is left in your ears. I need a Constitution save, or you will be deafened for 1d4 rounds.
All of us?
Strongest.
Yes.
Okay, Constitution save.
Are you kidding me?
Roll the exact
Yay.
same.
I'm not the only one.
Alright. Saya, we're gonna need a Constitution save. I posted it in the chat so you can catch up.
Thank you.
That's why I've done all this. You should be able to expect me to throw anything that I said into the chat pretty easily.
Basically, the biggest flashbang you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, lightning struck and...
Okay, so Constitution
Mm-hmm.
failed.
Hey, we're
How
all
did
in
you roll the
the
same as me?
we're all in the same boat.
If it was like a sudden flash, it would have scared the crap out of me.
So, that's 4 rounds of deafness for everyone.
Yeah.
The horizon
So
jolts, rocks, and then plummets. I need
No.
a wisdom save.
Oh no.
Another one.
I'm still trying to get on the main deck to help.
Yeah.
Nice.
Syria, you are frightened. You are deaf and scared. Both of Celica and Saya make their saves. However, this thing is plummeting, like I said. So I need a dexterity save.
So I'm bad at these save stuff. Make me do a big brain save.
Oh, you got a good one that time. No, pup. I just took you for a walk.
Oh,
I just took you for a walk.
Syria, in panic, you manage to find something to grab hold of. You're also
Yay.
helping keep Kalas, the elf, alive.
Oh, is someone hurt?
Yeah, she broken leg very badly. Medicine.
gonna-
There was a medicine check to splint her. Then all this happened.
I can cast Cure Wounds
If you have time to, currently
if I have
do
time
not.
Okay.
You are able to brace yourself for potential impact because we're plummeting down. Only
to. Okay, then I
Syria.
might want to save it.
Yes, only Syria managed to hold on to something.
Can I use Mage Hand to help one of them?
No, it's only 5 pounds. Saya, you managed to brace yourself. Celica, you're about to take some damage. Oh no, it disconnected.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Oh no!
Oh no! Why is all these disconnects happening today? What is going on? We're about to get Final Destination, and he's not here to see it.
Mm.
To reconnect. Such a terrible moment to disconnect.
My cryptos are going up, but the D&D session is going down.
oh.
There you go.
There you go.
He's back.
Yay!
Sorry about that.
It's okay. All right. So
Got
Syria,
turned into a smear.
Syria is able to brace. Syria found something to hold on to, helping her and Kalos. Saya is able to brace herself. Celica is not gonna do well.
Great.
500 feet of free fall before the ship veers up and slows down. You don't take 500 feet worth of falling damage. It veers up, causing you to kind of like hit at a slide. You
Oof.
do take
I like that
4
sounds.
bludgeoning damage.
Oh,
Ow.
And
that's a pretty hefty bonk to the head at level 1.
from where you're standing, you can kind of see the upper deck, and you see Torin on this upper deck. You see that the arcane matrix is not quite stably holding Fervis, the fire elemental. You can see that Torin struggles visibly as he and Fervin put all of their combined might into controlling the airship. It finally breaks free from the storm. The sky is hazed over in deep pinks and dark blues. A misty fog leaks into the hull and permeates vision. The horizon dips and bobs along the top of the dead gray mist. A small mote of mist forms a slender tendril. I need a dexterity save.
Can I use Mage Hand to push the fog back?
You have to make a dexterity save first.
I don't want to get more landed. No!
Oh,
So I'm just reopening
The
my
rolls
maps.
didn't.
Oh, I didn't register. I'll do it again.
What we're rolling?
Dexterity.
There we go.
Dexterity. Oh god, again.
It's a good thing that roll didn't show up because it was only a 1.
Better. 10, 11, 12. There we go.
Yeah. better.
All of you dodge it. Syria, you're able to barely keep Kalas from getting hit by it. Good, gracious, this dog. And then something thuds and is dragged past you. Latra, the bronze dragonborn, is pulled out of the ship and free falls.
No!
More of these
Oh,
tendrils.
no.
More of these tendrils start to sprout. As your deafness wears off, you can hear screams and shouts as people are either narrowly avoiding or being pulled away by these tendrils. A large mass of mist forms more tendrils around the party and then vanishes. The fog and mist clear and the airship levels out.
Bloody hell.
You have a small moment to catch your breath. Not enough to take a short rest, but enough to heal any immediate damage if you have access to any sort of healing.
No, not for a short rest. I can't use hit dice. Damn it. No, I don't have anything.
If you get any injured again, I'll heal you, but I only have 2 healing spells and 2 slots. So.
Okay. I could think maybe I could take 1 hit and then I'm probably down.
Alright. So a lot of you are able to get up to the deck where some of the remaining crew and mercenaries are starting to gather. The strange thing is that once you're up there, the mist that should be there in the moorlands is not there.
Not even beneath us?
Nowhere. No mist. The ring of Sybaris glistens in the night sky, extending its grasp around Eberron to either side. Several moons shine bright, and Zerantir rises in the east, glowing brilliantly against the dark blue sky. Crew and passengers gather themselves up where they can. The ship occasionally lurches and drops down a few feet, a clear sign that it is slowly descending. Through a hole of the ship and over the rails, dim lights can be seen below. It's a small village, or it looks like it. You can make a history check if you would like to see if you know what it is.
Yes, please.
Gladly.
I'll do that.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
am
I'll
trained
roll
in
as well.
history.
Ooh. I have a
I
negative
too.
1 in
I
history.
too watch history buffs on YouTube.
I have a 9.
It's +4.
I am. If this means anything, where is it? I have an excellent memory for maps and geography, and I can always recall the general layout of terrain, settlements, and other features around me. So
Okay.
if like we're over something, like if we just crossed into it,
I'll give you advantage.
yeah. Oh, like go again?
Yeah.
No, that's worse.
Okay. So
Just
you're
ask
you're
John.
kind of not quite sure exactly where we are, but Syria and Celica, you recognize that that's probably the village of Shale Tier, which is a small village of no more than 30 feet. But they made a decent living off of travelers who were headed to Making or Tronish. But that would be a village in the Mournland. The ship drifts aloft with less than a skeleton crew. They begin to shout orders to passengers to help patch up where they can. The lack of sorewood is causing the ship to buck and sink. Right now, you can help mend or repair wherever you're able. If you have the spell mending, great. If not, then you can improvise tasks using skill checks.
I'll do what I can with my non-magic.
Am I putting her in?
Yeah, I can put it on the count.
I don't have mending. I've just come here to lightning bolt stuff, pretty much.
All right.
I have
Oh,
nothing
If you
that
have
I can do to help.
any sort of, even investigation can help figure out,
Yeah,
what
I'll roll
you
some
do.
investigation.
Yeah. So just think of skill checks you would like to make.
I have advantage on survival. Will that help any?
That could help.
Actually, how about an Arcana roll?
Yes, that
Will
could
that help
help.
at all? Yeah, I'll give that a go. That's big brain
23
Arcana.
survival. Be right back.
Just to ask, is the entire Mourning fog gone, or is it just the area around
Yes,
us?
no. The entirety of Mourning fog is gone. The melody currently
fuck?
playing, just as a heads up to everybody, the melody currently playing is the Lament of Sire.
Oh boy.
Alright, so do you want to make a skill check, Celica, to help in some way? It could be athletics to hold things
Yeah.
down, hammer things about. Whatever you
I will
feel like
definitely
you
help.
would be strong in.
Yeah, I'll probably do that. So that is a +5. It's my highest skill.
Very nice.
It's good.
So you help hold some of this buckled sorewood down as some of the mage rights come over and begin to cast mending where they can. Syria, you help restructure the arcane matrix, this lattice of spells that helps keep the fire elemental bound to the ship and properly guiding it. Saya, you are able to kind of assess the situation and help secure supplies, medical supplies, any sort of
Yeah, I'm the
necessities. Yeah.
I'm cool with being a gopher.
And the ship kind of begins to steady out, and we coast along the night for a good bit until we can see more lights in the distance. Just to the right of the forward deck, a city, and not just any city. It is Making, one of Sire's greatest cities before the day of mourning. Magical lanterns, large buildings, and massive warehouses can be seen from miles away, and this ship drifts towards it. This puts Horizon some 40 miles off track to the north. The night sky is serene, and a gentle, cool breeze washes a silence over the passengers and crew members alike. Then it happens. A blinding flash. Night becomes day in an instant. You struggle to protect your sight, even with eyes clenched and closed hands in front. Then, slowly, darkness retakes its place. Where Making was is a massive ball of fire, curling in under itself and rising into the night sky. It reaches upward, higher than Horizon is flying. Smoke follows it in a ring of destruction across the land. Flash fire erupts and lightning crackles from the explosion. An invisible force causes the ship to lurch upward and heave against itself. The Sorewood groans and threatens to crack and buckle on itself. Like a ship at sea going over a wave, the Horizon rocks and rolls through the force of the shockwave. Then, the second blast. Heat sears against you, even at this distance, miles away and well up into the sky. There is no brilliant light with this explosion. There's a dark splotch against the night and over Making, as if all light had been simply plucked out of this one smudge. The ground erupts, and a wave of molten earth pushes out from Making and ignites anything in its path. Smoke races behind in its wake. No, not smoke. Mist. Anguished faces and limbs reach out from the wall of despair. Torin comes to his senses and resumes his trance with Fervis. The elemental pulses bright white as he pushes the handicapped ship forward. It's clear, though. There is no escape. The wall pushes onward. And so close to the blast, not even the fastest Lightrander airships could outrun it. The mist envelops the ship. A cold washes over the crew and passengers. With the mist and the dark, the only thing visible is the faint glow of Fervis's white fire. The ship bucks. A misty hand attached to an arm that is too long slaps down. Slaps down on the deck of the ship. The front half snaps. Reflex saves.
Oh, fuck. Reflex.
How do I find reflex saves?
Sorry, dexterity.
Dexterity, okay.
More flashbacks, my favorite. 6, 20 plus 2.
Let's do the time warp again. Having basically terminated 2 flashbacks of the future.
Nobody succeeds.
Oh shit.
The back half of the ship lurches left, then right, then rolls out of control. It spins faster and faster. The faint light of Fervus seems to become a stretched ring or a rubber band. And then it snaps. The elemental races into the darkness.
See ya.
The fall, for both the front and back half of the ship, seems to take an eternity, yet an instant. A loud thud surrounds you, then darkness. Your mind aches, and your mind aches and pounds inside your skull. You cough up dirt and choke down gasps of dead gray mist. Clearing debris and rubble off of yourself, you get a look at what's around you. Light bounces through the mist, illuminating it from all directions. It's hard to gather the time of day. But that is the least of your worries. Against the light, a massive shadow of ground begins to heave upward. A figure of a hulking crab shakes off debris. The debris hits the ground and rushes at you. Hundreds of small crab-like creatures begin to swarm you. Roll initiative.
Oh shit.
Oh lord.
You won't be using a
Crab
specific map for this. This is more theater of the mind kind of encounter here.
So, like, the little crabs are coming home to the ship?
No, you've crashed and
to the
you're on the
wreckage.
ground. Yeah, you're in the wreckage.
Okay,
We got thrown off.
sorry.
That's okay.
Oh yeah, Mr. Krabs.
We're like we've left a trench behind where the ship was crashing. We're in the trench.
I gotcha. And, like,
This is like Miracle in the Hudson, but worse.
are they, like, medium-sized crabs?
This is a swarm.
Okay, so normal-sized crabs?
Large, yes, but larger than normal, but not quite medium
But not
sized.
quite medium, okay.
20
So, like,
plus 2.
A foot crab.
Yes, they're feet crabs.
Feet crab.
Okay, why did it roll it twice? I rolled a 10 and then I rolled an 8, but the 10 didn't show up.
Weird. Saya, what was your initiative?
21.
Thank you. See if I can't just use a miscellaneous token here.
Oh yeah, Mr. Krabs.
So which one do you want to use? The one that didn't show up, or just the one that's there?
The one that's right there is fine.
Okay. Darn, that means I get a 10, not a 12.
Thought I had. Oh well. Alright, so they are going in the combat tracker, they are going to go before Syria, after Saya. Saya, you have first turn.
Okay. So like all these little crabs are just like rushing at us.
Yes.
Start stomping.
Oh, they're little crabs, and are they like? We just disturbed them, right?
Possibly.
All right.
I mean, they're coming at you, ready to eat.
The peach?
Yeah, ready to eat.
Okay. And I'm gonna cast Earth Tremor.
All right.
Let's see. Abilities. Skills, where is it? Actions. Okay, my spells did not upgrade from prepping them. I can't drag it over. It is a 10-foot range. It's one action. Cause a tremor in the ground within range. Each creature other than you in that area must make a dex saving throw. On a failed save, a creature takes 1d6 bludgeoning and is knocked prone. If the ground in that area is loose earth or stone, it becomes difficult terrain until cleared, with each 5-foot diameter portion requiring at least 1 minute to clear by hand.
Okay, and what's the save they have to make?
Dex 13.
They do make it.
Okay.
Is there anything like half damage on that or anything? Or it just becomes difficult terrain?
No, it's just difficult terrain.
Alright, so they're still scampering towards everyone. It's their turn, and then Syria. Yeah.
Well, I want to... They're getting pretty close, huh?
Yeah, they're going to be right up on you soon.
I'm a back up behind someone who looks like they could take a hit.
That would be Celica.
Silica, yeah. I'm a just like,
Okay,
your turn! Run behind Silica.
I'm still like getting off the floor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Mr. Crab.
Crab turn.
Crab people.
The large, hulking, crab-like figure begins to skitter forward, and you can feel the earth kind of shifting under its weight as what looks like hundreds of smaller crabs are just overwhelming the wreckage and basically creating almost a tide of these critters rolling over everyone.
What are they doing to the dead bodies, if any?
They are doing nothing, and they almost ignore the party. They run over you. They don't do any damage. They failed to hit anybody. But you can see that they are beginning to devour the remains of the ship. Small mandibles are just spitting acid out, and their crab claws are pinching and ripping away sore wood, metal, and they begin to consume it. An Arcana check or a Nature check could help you identify them as it gets to your turns. Let me check to see what this big mama crab do. Alright, she spews acid outwards in a cone.
Oh boy.
They need a dexterity saving throw from Saya.
Alright. Why it on me?
That's what the dice said.
Yoink!
And you
I
said,
have to ask because
Was that
because
it?
she went
17?
behind me, do I get hit as well?
I was about to say, it's going to go to you, but I have to have her make her save first.
It's 17.
17, you make your save. You don't take any damage. Celica, it's your turn.
Oh boy. I don't know if it's worth saving the ship or if we just have to focus on the big one.
The ship is in ruin. There's definitely no...
No building this big by hand.
This thing is collapsed, and this is... You are on the front half of it, and this is all that's left. That is just bad.
Okay. Before I do anything, if I look around, how many people survived the crash around us that we can see?
Currently, around you, all you see is Princess and her guards. You might be able to see some shifting in some rubble, but can't tell if that's just crabs shifting around or bodies.
Alright.
And your ass flying at you.
I assume because we're in the mornings, I hurt more than just all over from the crash.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have a searing pain. in that spot that you're thinking about.
Great.
Can you give me that dexterity save?
Oh, well, yeah. Sorry, I forgot.
It's okay.
Dex 20.
Very good. You avoid the acid as well.
Nice. Give me a bit more heads up next time.
All right, Saria.
Do I need to
Oh,
make a
was that my
dex
turn?
save?
No, that wasn't your turn. That was the crab's
Just a
turn.
save.
No, you don't.
No, or
Arcana is your stronger one, I believe. Between that and nature.
that's right. Nature was the other. Yeah. Go, Arcana roll.
Nice.
We're all rolling 15.
Rust crabs.
Oh no.
And these are creatures that have spawned in the moorlands. You've read about them. You've never really seen them. You just always imagine them as like very big crabs with lots of armor and whatnot, discarded remains of armor and warforged covering their backs. And that's basically what the big one is. It looks like she has an entire new brood, and that's what these smaller swarms are. They are capable of basically drooling and spewing acid to help start decomposing whatever they're going to devour. They prefer metal. Their diet is preferably warforged. But metal and wood are their go-to, hence the name rust crab. They tend to turn things into rust or oxidize and melt things. And then, if they have to, they eat the people too. Typically, if something is in their territory, they're going to devour it and destroy it no matter what. And you have a bad feeling that you have entered this thing's territory.
Yes. Best that we were leaving before they finish with the ship and come for us. Can I also do a perception check to see? I know you mentioned before some of the movement can't tell between crab and people, but could I maybe listen out for someone calling for help?
Yeah, you could definitely make an active perception, because your passive is only 11.
Mm.
Go right ahead.
Oops, I accidentally changed it from wisdom. Here we go.
It's only one better than your passive. The constant shifting of the smaller swarms is just too difficult to discern. Between that and the low visibility of the dead gray mist.
Okay. What else can we do? Sorry, abilities. Yeah, other than that, run, yeah. Oh, I quickly tell the princess we best be leaving. She
Seems to agree with that, giving a quick nod and looking at her two guards in their Vaelnarian garb. And they kind of also agree. You can tell that they're trying to kind of figure out the best course of retreat.
So if we're near making...
Not anymore. You're not quite sure where you're at now.
Bloody fog.
Well, not just the fog, but you're not certain where you landed after the crash, how far off it threw you. Exactly that entity. Luckily, there's no Warforged among the party.
Yeah.
There
Well,
were
both
in the
luckily
crew
and
and
not
mercenaries, though.
Just have to outrun them if there are any left.
And I remember that one time where I was playing a Warforged and I was basically used as the cart mule.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to eat or sleep. You just
Well,
go.
Syria, what are we going to do?
So much I can do. I got no good spells for a scuppy.
Got lightning bolt.
You can try and deal damage to the swarms to open up an area to escape. Because if you try and run from them, you might provoke attacks of opportunity.
Yeah.
That was the main reason why I did Earthcomber.
So either one, you disengage and then run, or two, you do some damage.
So we can't see the back half of the ship, just the front half.
Yeah, just the front half, and the shape that it's in. It's hard to tell that it's even the front half.
Shit.
Most of it is imploded, buckled, broken, or halfway in the ground.
I don't know if it's swarming, I guess. Can I shoot a firebolt at the ground?
Mhm.
And hopefully see if it'll clear a path for us to get through? Like, not at the ground, but like shoot in the direction that we want to go. Hopefully the heat.
You could do so, but that's just going to kind of like illuminate outwards. It's not going to help discern a direction. And it's not going to make it any easier to see. It's kind of like turning your high beams on in the fog. It doesn't really help. It makes it worse.
Yeah.
Thanks,
What if I shot it upwards? What if I shot it upwards, see if there's anyone else alive? Use it as like sort of a signal
flare? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, whoops. Wrong one. Where's the roll for this thing?
You shouldn't have to make a roll. You just fire it upwards. In the distance, you hear, "Survivors over there! Hurry!" So somebody has been rallied to the flare.
Phew.
Yay.
Thank you, Sab. Thank you, Sab. And they all made their icons using the 2-minute tabletop thing. Alright, yes, that was great thinking, and I'm giving you inspiration.
Nice.
Yay.
Celica, what do you do?
Oh boy, giant crab spewed acid at me. Are we technically in combat with that right now?
Yes. You're not in its melee threatened range, but you are in melee threatened range of the small rust crab swarms.
Just keep kicking on little bits of metal.
You had to put me against the ones that are probably the fighter's worst enemy.
Yeah, they will demolish it. They will eat your armor and you inside of it. We gotta go.
What do I have? Okay. Because we heard those voices, is it possible for us to make a direction, like tell which direction that came from?
Towards your south.
South. And I'm assuming that place is blocked off by mini crabs.
No, they haven't completely, totally surrounded you yet. You could continue to head southward. You just deal with their possible attacks of opportunity. They kind of dispersed as they got to the wreckage, which is behind you as well, so that's to your south. So they're kind of like dealing with the wreckage first and hoping that the rest of them swarm you.
Just take this opportunity.
They're not intelligent. The mom is smart, but these things are like, food!
They're like bees
Okay.
that eat people.
And they're also not cute.
Yeah. I would
Alright,
take the advantage and run.
Yeah.
So we go south.
How do you... Is disengage an action, or is that a class-specific thing?
No. You can disengage to prevent the attack of opportunities, and then just use your move.
Okay.
Disengage. The rogues get the cunning action version of it, that's all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay then. So yeah, I'll disengage and then I'll start making my way down south, saying that it was over this way.
Alright.
I'll be doing that whole thing where I'm walking backwards, but I'm ready to attack anything that comes at me, kind of thing.
We're all slowly walking backwards, watching him.
Yeah.
Let me pull up C's here.
Just smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
All right. So the one that's, I'm just gonna move her upwards. She takes out her spear and begins stabbing away at the small swarm.
No.
All right, so
Pulls
she
the whole
stabs
swarm on us.
in front of her. Deals 11 damage. Oh, sorry, no, 13 damage.
Not bad.
And that eliminates several of them in front of her. And since this is a swarm, you can think of her like skewering several of them. And
Shish kebab
Yeah.
crab.
yes, the other guard, she very quickly begins to punch and kick, punting these crabs away.
Beautiful.
In Anwen's honor, I made a monk PC.
Yay.
She hits. And she will stun the general swarm with her strikes. So she deals 7 bludgeoning damage and kind of knocks them all back, and they're stunned for 1 round. And then that's supposed to be luck. Princess unsheaths a scimitar
Oh!
and, or sorry, a rapier
Oh!
and a dagger. She strikes 3 times. The rapier strikes true. The dagger. And a critical from the second dagger.
Ooh.
Nice.
She deals 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13,
Far
14,
out.
15, 16 damage to the swarm. Completely
Nice.
obliterating what's in front of her. And the 3 of them fall back to Celica.
Nice.
Round 2, Saya.
I know these are rust crabs now, right? They're
Yeah, I said it out
has
loud.
that information been shared, or should I roll
she
for it?
said, no, she said it.
Okay.
You muted all of a sudden.
I'm back. Do I know about rust crabs?
Yeah, I said it out loud.
She
okay,
spewed out
okay.
information, kind of just like a
Okay.
word vomit of information.
Then I will just be like, then don't bother fighting them. Let's just find the rest of the crew.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of group the party members and NPCs that have been
Yeah.
collected, essentially.
And I will kind of let's see. Instantaneous harmless. Sorry, hang on. Okay. Can I? No, I'm not gonna do anything like that. I'm just gonna go ahead and head to where we heard the other crew members.
Hmm.
And I heard them yelling, so I'm gonna yell back, rust crab.
Oh no!
Yeah.
you hear like a general like, it just keeps getting worse. Are you going
My
to
metal
disengage
cabbages.
and then retreat, or are you going to try and double move?
We can disengage.
All right, so you use an action to disengage, and then you run off.
Yeah.
Into the
I'm
night.
like I want everyone to disengage. Like Saya's like, come on, just don't fight them.
Well, see, them fighting him helped them disengage rather than just
Right,
take a
right.
disengage action.
Yeah. I'm just like, don't bother with it anymore, because the swarm keeps coming. And that's my turn.
See, I have 6 characters here. All right. This person is struck with flying debris. The crab
Uh-oh.
throws bits of the ground and just debris that's near it as it gets closer. It's now nearing melee range, but it throws this debris at her and critically strikes.
Oh,
At who?
The person that I
That
moved
NPC?
forward, yeah, you don't know her name yet.
big bunk.
She is struck.
She looks like a Lucy.
She looks like a Lucy.
A Lucy Goosey.
Wow. He takes 14 damage.
Oof.
I would have been taken out by that.
We all would have.
Need to drag her in with rest. That made it a lot easier.
I knew it, Lucy.
Where'd she go? There we are. Alright, so she takes 14 damage. You see her kind of like get knocked back a bit and mostly shrug the damage off.
Oof.
Damn, these people know how to fight.
Well, they can take hits.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, did you see them kill those crabs?
More crabs. More crabs wave forward. Hundreds of them. Mostly going for the debris. But occasionally the party is getting nipped and pinched and tucked. Alright, so 3 attacks. 2 will hit the party. The AC of party members is 13, 16, 11. The first one strikes Syria.
Oof.
You get pincered for 1 slashing damage. And the second swarm hits Celica
Oh,
for 4 slashing damage.
another 4.
How are you looking? Are you pretty hurt?
Let's just say if I take another 4, I'm down.
Okay.
Yeah, she's taken a total of 8, correct?
Yes.
Alright, Syria, it's your turn.
Cast Mage Armor.
Alright, your AC increases by 4 to a 15.
And like with the rest of the party, I keep moving backwards.
Alright, that will prevent attack of opportunity from the nearby swarm. Or not prevent, it will provoke. But they do
Oh,
miss.
shit.
They miss. The
Phew.
increase in AC helped.
Yay.
Alright, so you are with the rest of the party currently. Celica, it is your turn.
I'm getting a little pissed off by these things. I guess to help clear the way, only one use of this, isn't it? Let me just check on that. Yes. If we used an AoE thing, would it help clear the way? We could just run by without everyone having to do a disengage.
Yes, you are all adjacent to each other currently. So yes.
Okay. Then I'm going to use something that I shouldn't be able to use. I use Burning Hands.
Ooh.
All right, I need you to roll me a d10 first.
D10. Whoosh. 10.
Nice.
All right. Burning Hands, is that an attack or is that a save? I know it unleashes a cone. Cones are normally dex saves.
Shoots from each creature in a 15-foot cone must make a dexterity saving throw.
They rolled
What's
a
the number
1.
they gotta save?
They rolled a 1. It don't matter. Celica, it is your right arm, correct?
It's my left.
It's your left arm? Alright, so you reach out with your left arm. Small flecks of sparks and of fire kind of begin to swirl around your left arm. And then the cloth that is covering that arm is incinerated as fire erupts from your shoulder forward and leaves a huge swath of dead, charred crabs. Fresh dinner. Winner, winner, crustacean dinner.
Winner, winner.
I'd like for some reason in my mind, I'd like to visualize the pain it might have gone through. It's like throwing up, but going through your arm.
Yes, but also burning
Yeah.
hard. It as the fire goes away, the embers and kind of cooling fire leaves its trail along your aberrant dragon mark.
Oh, aberrant?
Which I have no idea about.
An audible gasp comes from the silver-haired Velnar elf and princess.
Vilnar elf?
Yeah, they're both of them. They're wearing Velnar colors. I've said this.
Oh, then I would have paid more attention to them. I missed it completely.
Come on, let's go.
Aberrant.
Yeah.
Come on,
Freaky
let's
freak.
go. As they like, two of them are just like wide-eyed staring at you, like, oh my goodness.
Faster. Must go faster.
I mean, like I said, I have no idea about this. I'm just like, let's
Yeah.
just go.
All right, so I'll move you forward. She moves basically in front of you, another movement in front of you. That will kind of leave us in this position. As they all move away from that opening that you gave, you now have inspiration as well.
Yes.
Saya, it's
So-
the top of round 3, and it is your turn.
Alright, I want to...
You are not currently surrounded, thanks to what Celica did.
Okay. Does she have to turn around to do that?
I assume that you guys were kind of like
facing
backtracking
the crowds.
and firing back, so she probably like stopped, turned around and stood and unleashed this cone of fire and then took back off again.
Okay. I would like to... like, as we're going, if I'm behind her, just kind of, like, give her, like, a little push on the back. Be like, good job, keep going! And I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on her.
Very good.
Let's see...
See how good it did.
One... You regain 10 hit points.
Oh, thank you.
All right. So you're fully healed. Saya gets inspiration.
Yeah!
You see the wounds closing on Celica, but the marking on her arm does not go away.
Yeah, I'm just like, eee.
Yes, it looks just basically, to the untrained
like
eye.
hard, burned flesh.
Yeah, exactly that.
I would cover it right with like my cloak or something, but
I
I'm in the
am-
middle of running away.
I am kind of curious as to why it's not healing. From magical healing, so. But other than that, I'm just moving back with
A
everybody.
sound that can best be described as a mixture between nails on chalkboard and grinding, buckling steel can be heard as the Big Mama kind of overruns her brood to catch up to the thing that just burninated some of her brood.
Uh-oh.
Burninator.
Yeah. And she is screeching. That's what that sound is. Sounds like metal. She slams her massive left claw down and rolls a 1.
Oh!
And breaks
She-
a claw in half.
She smashes into the ground, and you guys can feel the ground kind of rumble for a second as she falls into a pit that opens up beneath her and down into what looks to be like some old ruin.
Oh?
Just her or all of us?
You guys are out in front of her. Behind her, her brood kind of begins to fall in with her, giving you guys more time to escape.
That's convenient.
Syria, it is your turn. You barely, your back heel was on that ground not
Just
less than
as-
a half a second ago.
As it was falling away.
Oh.
Yeah. You kind of stumbled away from it.
That was too close. So all the brood, crab's going in there, brood's going in there.
Yeah, there's some falling in there, and the rest are distracted by the ruins of the airship.
Good, good. So I keep moving back with him and I shoot another firebolt up into the air. So
There! With that, secondary firebolt. Move this back to this one. We are out of combat for now,
Woo!
as we get far enough away from the rust crab brood and find ourselves among the survivors.
Luckily, with Mama stopping chasing us, the other brood should too. So
Yes.
that one was very helpful.
All right. You find yourselves with Torin de Lyrander, a dwarf, of course, the 2 guards. Princess, somebody's doing something with their headset. The 2 guards and Princess Torin, a dwarf, a warforged, and 2 others that you do not recognize. The moment that there's a brief respite, Princess looks to everyone and she takes off her veil. Let me rid of that, of course. This up.
Turns out she was the green crew member. Among Us. Alright, everyone's subscribed now. We said the meme. Among Us, Among Us, Among Us.
We said it several times now.
Bloom, bloom. Imposter.
Alright, who was imposter?
Okay. So she takes her garb that was hiding her identity the rest of the way off, revealing greens, golds, and silver, the colors of Sire. She says,
Oh,
I am Ada Ir Winarn, Princess of Thrain, the rightful heir of Sire by blood. My cousin, Prince Orgev Ir Winarn, has given up his title and rights to claim the land that we stand upon. He calls himself Mayor of New Sire, while this mist and all within it reaches out further each day. I will take this land back, but to do that, you must get me to New Sire.
okay.
How does ye respond?
I have one quick question. Stab messaged me. Did we start with standard array?
Point by.
Starting stats? Point by. There you go.
Hmm.
Your royalty?
Oh,
Of
That's-
fire.
That's
That
I
much
am.
was obvious. Oh, seeing as we've got no other option out of here, might as well.
Alright, we shall
Job's not yet done.
begin our
Well,
trek.
many questions later, I guess.
Yes, we shall begin our trek. We'll focus mostly on the map of Corvair at the moment.
Okie dokie. I'll
Okay.
maximize it.
Yes. If anybody wants to make survival checks to kind of get a rough idea of maybe where we're at.
Could I do a history check instead? Because
We need a survival first,
Okay.
I got it.
just to kind of figure out what our land word is.
Hey.
Okay.
There's a word there that I know.
Geographical location.
The sites.
Sights and sounds.
All right. So 22 is the highest. Pulling Syria's knowledge and Saya's knowledge together, you can go ahead and make a history check with advantage.
Cool.
Both of us?
4.
No, this is going to be from Celica. And the thing here, Celica, is you have maps from beforehand, but you also have maps from afterhand, and there's various differences between all of these Mournland maps because nobody's perfectly traced everything out. Your best guess, with the information that Saya and Syria state, is that you are outside of the Glass Plateau. You are well north of where you should have been.
Bookmaker.
Let me use my arrow thingy here somewhere. How do I do the arrows again? Never mind, I got it.
Okay.
Yeah, you're some 40 miles north of where you should have been.
Damn, we went far.
There's a road, an old King's Road kind of thing, that would be about 10 miles to the west. If you follow that, there should be the ruins of Nearhall, a smaller town that was along this road. And I can move our token here. This is where I'm talking about. This little spot right here.
Okay. So I'll direct everyone over that way. So there's a road this way that should be safer, but not really that anything else is here safe. But
Right. But getting to the
To get
ruins
us
will
out.
give you some structure.
yeah.
All right. We're getting ahead of ourselves. As far as session goes, we are dipping into session 2, but that's okay. I'm prepared. I
Are we
have.
prepared?
I am very much prepared to continue us
Unlike
on
our
to our
other
full-time
session.
limit.
Last night, where we're in episode 15, part 3.
This is making up for it, I guess.
Yeah. So we begin our westward trek to the road first. With having that as a landmark will help greatly. There's no going back to the ship to get any wreckage. We, out of a very large crew, we have, 12 mercenaries. Let's see. Characters. I think it's like 14 crew members.
Yeah.
Let
I
me
get the feeling that it was like 30 people on board, including the mercenaries.
Roughly, yeah.
Yeah.
Torin. Alright, Norn. Where are you at, Norn? Norn. There we go. I just had to pull up the survivors here. Norn, Crunch. So these were mercenaries. Ariel is a crew member.
Oh no, did Elvia survive?
No.
Damn.
In a row.
Well, guess your debts are paid.
Too soon.
There be no date night for you.
Never again.
Never, ever again.
I loved once and I lost him so quickly.
Alright. So, we find out that the two guards are Bea Silnair and Saldana Galerin. Bea Silnair is a Vaelnar gladiator. She was once... She on this 10-mile journey to the west, kind of talks a little bit more. You can see that she has a teal eagle tattooed to her right shoulder. She has medium-length golden hair, green eyes, and well-defined muscles. She was hired personally by Ada Irwinarn.
I was about to say, like, I want to talk to the Vaelnar elves a lot.
And
Hang
Saldana
out.
is a martial arts specialist. She has a very long silver hair. She's rather tall for an elf. Green eyes as well. She kind of has a gruff tone. Her head and face are tattooed in swirled markings, and these markings are gold that shimmer in the light. This is essentially a magical tattoo that she has. That's those two guards. Norn is Norn, son of Nir. He's a war veteran. He fought for the Roar Holds. Kind of bulbous nose, bushy eyebrows, long beard. He's been making terrible jokes. Like, nobody's in a joking mood, and he's making it worse. And then Crunch is a Warforged mercenary. He also makes jokes. He has a lower lip spike and red eyes. Muriel Elian is a Wood Elf female. She has purple eyes. She has a skull tattoo on her right hand. If you happen to spot her on the ship, she seems rather enthusiastic, but right now she seems really aggressive. And finally, aside from our pilot, we have Henro Ailes, which is a human guard, also a war veteran. Flat-nosed, perceptive, ponderous, and he misses his feather cap. He couldn't find it.
Oh no.
Press F to pay respects.
Yeah. And Torin Delirander, he seems somewhat disheveled. He's a half-elf. He is missing his right eye. He has an eye patch to cover it up. You knew that he was enthusiastic and kind of ready for everything on the airship. And he spoke with a thin wheeze whenever he kind of breathed in and out. That wheeze is a little bit more prominent now. He seems very grim, knowing all of his... Out of all of his crew, he only has two. Only two left. And his bond, his bound elemental Fervus, is nowhere to be found.
He's scarpered.
We find ourselves finally on this road. What's left of it is mostly just a rut in the decayed, muddy ground that is the Mournland. It seems that there was once a battlefield here. Where wasn't there in Sire? There's dozens of decayed bodies strewn about, still wearing armor. And we begin our trek south. I would like a survival check to continue our navigation, but also to make sure we don't encounter something nasty.
Alright. I probably can't help with that.
I swear that looked like the 17.
It was on its axis.
So I'm sort of walking around with my hands together.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't want to touch anything. Oh, Syria, you don't have your cup.
Oh,
Alright, Saya, you help navigate around something that you call death moss. You know it more by rumor than anything else, hearing stories about the battlefield being covered in this moss that essentially, if touched or ingested, could kill in just a few hours. It has a very slimy texture to it, and it's a dark greenish black. Yeah, entity, it's a special cup. It's, yeah. If PC wants to type it out, they can type it out.
It's a nice cup of goblet, but that's all I'll say.
I
It's the
will.
Mournlands now.
I'll get it back. Mark
We
my words.
are faced with a decision as we trek south. Are we going to push through the night to get to this ruins, or are we going to try and establish a spot to rest overnight, the ruins of Nearhall, in one go? If we push through the night, we can get there by tomorrow, but you will have level 1 exhaustion, which is disadvantage on ability checks.
Oof.
Now, usually I would say that it'd probably be a bad idea, but because we're in the Mournlands and we could get attacked at any point, I might be safer to actually push it.
It is up to you three to break the tie. The NPCs are evenly split.
I'm gonna roll a 1d10 for my decision. 1, we push forward. 2, we stay and rest. Oh, whoops.
Just slash roll D2.
That's right. Oh, you actually have to type roll. D2. So I guess what I say it was one we stay, 2 we go.
Yes.
Yes.
Alright,
Hmm.
I vote we stay.
I vote push.
Oh Lord.
You're muted, Shy.
I'm gonna roll a wisdom. If it is, let's see.
If it's higher than your wisdom score, then you do the sensible thing. If it's lower, then you do the instinctual thing.
My wisdom score is 17.
Alright?
So what is
Just
the
do a
what is the
wisdom
sensible
save.
thing?
The sensible thing is probably to push. The instinct thing is to stay.
I got a 9.
Alright, so yeah, you're wanting to stay as well. It's just your instinct to set up a prepared area where you can kind of stand your
Instinct
ground.
is to keep your strength up. So,
Alright,
get a rest.
This is a
so
bad idea.
Yes.
you wanna
I
travel?
agree it is a bad idea.
We're going to travel as far as we can, and then set up camp before it gets too dark, which happens faster in the Dead Grey Mist. Saya, you want to give me a survival?
Okay.
Does somebody else want to give me a perception or investigation?
I'll do the investigation.
Oh man,
19
I'm better
survival.
at that than I am perception.
Oh shit, never mind. Yeah, you do the investigation.
Thank you.
Syria, you can do
That's
perception.
+2.
Perception?
No, Syria can.
Oh, right. Sorry.
That'll totally be a better roll.
That's
Oh, it was a better
investigation
roll.
for me.
Alright, fantastic. Good rolls. We trek onward and find a small building, what might have been an outpost at one point in time, perhaps a tower of some sort. It's hard to tell exactly what it is, other than the fact that it's about 20 by 20 foot with a lot of just crumbled stone. Of course, strewn bodies about the place wearing armor. It's hard to tell if there was a fight or if these were just guards at some point in time. It's free of any sort of mold. There's still a bunch of muck everywhere. It's just disgusting in general. Everybody's clothing is starting to kind of... It's absorbed enough dirt and grime at its base that it's kind of creeping upwards into the cloth. But you find this area, you scout it out, and it is going to be the safest area. It's roughly 5 p.m. judging by the light, which means it may be earlier, but it's just hard to tell. Everybody kind of clears a spot out against the remaining walls, kind of being safe not to make too much noise, I guess. It's general consensus that there will be no fire to keep anybody warm, as little as attention as possible, essentially. That's what Saya helps with, is kind of setting this camp up. The two Velnaran elves agree to split watch, and that they would be enough to do that with.
Alright. Are we like just going straight to doing the sleeping, or are we able to talk, or is it just because?
No, we can't.
we're
We're
in the
still
morning?
setting camp up, but this is what they're discussing, essentially.
Okay, because I didn't know if we were doing the whole like trying to keep quiet so we don't bring attention.
We don't want to. We're definitely not setting up a campfire and singing Kumbaya. But
Yeah.
it makes sense that, you know, while tasks are being completed, that we are probably muttering or keeping a low conversation, possibly trying to keep spirits up if at all possible.
Yeah.
So if there's any talking that anybody wants to do before we move to the next day, by all means we can do that. We can start with Celica, then Saya, then Syria.
Sure.
Because I lost my cup, basically just sit down in the corner or somewhere of the building and just put my head in my hands.
Okay.
And lament its loss.
Celica.
Yes. I probably look like shit
What's new?
because, I mean, more than usual. Like I look like I am probably sweating a lot more than I would, well, than everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
I probably feel like it probably looks like I'm running a fever.
Yeah.
Because of the amount of pain I'm going through right now.
Right.
But I would be trying to do stuff. I would be talking to some people that were on the upper decks, I guess. Like probably the pilot
Okay.
and maybe some other people.
He's
He's
very grim and hollow sounding. Go ahead.
does anyone know what even happened? Because it looked like we went to the past or something.
He responds with, I just tried my best.
Oh, survivor's guilt.
The best is all you can do in these kind of situations.
The dwarf looks up. He's about to say something. He smiles a little bit and then closes his mouth, kind of realizing the situation. It's not a good time for a joke. No, I don't know what it could have been. It seems that is possible. I've heard tales of old reenactments of spirits along The dead grey mist where Metrol is. As if the spirits are in an eternal repeat of their last battle. Perhaps it was something like that.
Can I do an Arcana check to see if I would have read about that somewhere
Sure.
to confirm his assumptions? Cool. Arcana. Because since I'm a nerd, I have to give my opinion anyways. Not feeling it.
What was it?
Oh, it didn't go through?
Mm-mm.
Oh, shit. Thank God it was a 3.
There we go. A 16. Alright. So, you've heard tales of... a plethora of tales from Dead Grey Mist, especially as time has gone on, and, this is 4 years later. Was it 4 years later? 5 years later. You've heard of places being stuck in time, as it were. This seems to follow along with that theory of places being stuck in time. You're not sure what summoned the storm, though, and exactly what happened that took you guys first really far south off course, and then very far north off course. It's almost as effective as kind of describing the effects of the Bermuda Triangle. But it definitely fits along with what you've read. Yes, either one, it's stuck in time, or something happened that you guys literally went back to the moment that happened and suffered through what they suffered. So it could be kind of like a repeating area if you happen to fly through that or go through it.
Were there at the right time?
And you feel like you witnessed the creation of the glass plateau.
Oh, shit.
Making is right there.
Yeah.
And that was the town the city that got blown up.
And then put my head back into my hands.
So she comments that, and then it's like, ugh, my cup.
So I just say it really flatly.
Yeah. All right.
And take a big sigh.
All right, Celica, you have that information.
Very weird then. No one else seems to have commented that this has happened, because other people would have had to fly over this place for it to happen, wouldn't it?
If they came that close to it, if they were that close to the mist, possibly. But the thing is airships are still relatively new, and not every path has been flown over the mist of the Mournland.
True.
And as stated earlier, this destination was pretty unique. There's not been really a flight to New Sire, because it's just a small refugee camp, essentially. It's a refugee camp turned settlement.
Well, it's slightly different from what Sadaka remembers when it happened, but she was in a different location, so...
Yes.
Exciting start to our adventure, surely.
I did have a question, actually.
Okay.
The bodies that we saw when we were coming in, did they look new?
Not really.
Or were they bones and stuff?
They weren't decayed as you would have expected them to be, but they definitely are rotted and everything.
Okay, so we didn't actually get teleported back in time. I just wanted to be doubly sure.
Correct.
Okay.
And things are kind of wonky here anyways. You could find, sun-bleached skeletons next to partially, barely decomposed corpses, so it's just strange.
It's probably doing that whole thing from Doctor Strange with time going backwards and forwards.
Or even
Saya.
Annihilation or Stalker.
Saya.
I have to go pick up the child.
All right.
I'm just helping with survival rules to try and
Okay.
let me roll that real fast. I'm just trying to help out around the camp and get ready for watch and stuff.
Very good.
I'm so glad you have advantage on this.
All right, Syria. Anything else you want to add before we move through to the night?
Nature, medicine. Oh, I guess I'll do a medicine check for anyone. Yeah. I have any light injuries?
All right.
I lay my zappy hands on them.
Shock therapy.
Shock, pretty much. Not feeling it.
This would technically count as a short rest, wouldn't it?
Mhm.
Or a long rest.
This right here is a short rest. The overnight will be the
Okay.
long.
Okay, cool. That means I get my thingy back.
Whoa. Syria, you see that people are kind of banged up and bruised up, but not much that can be, I guess, healed via traditional medicine. You take into account that people's mental state has actually suffered more damage than anything else right now. So you are aware that people need cheering up, but that's not your forte.
Especially since I lost my cup.
Yeah, you're one of those people that are suffering mental damage. You've taken 1d7 psychic
Yes.
damage.
Those are all that.
Yeah, a weird dice number.
Taking 3 whole mental damage.
All right.
I got 3 whole points in depression.
Mm-hmm. All right. So with that, we will camp and take our long rest overnight. I should mention that this is a slow leveling campaign. We might only level every few weeks, essentially.
Oh shit.
Yes.
This is
Oh,
story
boy.
mode, basically.
Yes. So
God, what have you got planned for us?
all kinds of great things.
Let's see how the next 10 years go.
Exactly.
And that's not a bad thing. I'm actually excited about it.
Yeah. The next morning, we are woken up to a slightly rude awakening as Bea and Saldana are fighting 2 undead.
Oh, great.
The battling wakes everyone up, but is over with before anybody can even reach their weapons. And from the pile outside, it looks like they may have been doing this
Oh god.
on and off through the night.
Damn.
They don't seem worse for wear, though. They seem almost rejuvenated from it. And they say that something was attracting them here. The 2 of them look to Celica and at her exposed arm in an accusatory fashion. Whether or not that's actually true and causing it is unknown. It's just that's what they think.
She just thinks that they're just looking at her burnt arm because it's not good to look at. So she'll just cover it up a bit more.
Well, your passive insight would know that they're kind of like trying to put the blame on you. You could pick up that
Yeah.
much.
I could pick up that, yeah. Don't look at me.
It's not my fault. They're undead.
Is it possible to tell if they're probably newly undead or if they're undead from the war? Because I've probably fought against some similar things.
No, because the undead that were used from the Eldine Reaches fought here. The Sire was the battleground of undead versus Warforged. So it's entirely possible that these were just left roaming from the last war till now, or they could, they could be the bodies of old veterans, those lost during the day of mourning or during battle. So no, it's impossible to tell which of the 2 sources it could be.
Okay. Okay then.
With that, Saya rolled high enough on her survival that we can continue our trek southward.
Do you need me to re-roll it? I just sat down.
No.
Okay.
We woke up to Seldana and Bea fighting undead. There's a small pile of them out there. Let's see. Clear this drawing here. There we are. About halfway through the next day, we encounter some more undead. Not that many, about 6. But
Combat.
no combat really needed here, as the group can easily overpower these essentially CR 1/8 undead. They're not in that. So with a few cantrips and some sword slashes, we make quick work of these undead. But we know
Mage hand the skull off one.
we know that we should probably expect more, though, because they seem to be attracted to the living. And finally, we see the ruins of Near Hall.
Yeah.
It's in our sights. Let's see. It would be.
What is that clicking noise?
It wouldn't be that. It would be this.
PC's mic was going crazy.
Is it?
That's
Oh, shit.
Vex's. That was Vex's. I was just looking at.
Oh.
the thing.
Oh.
Oh, I didn't hear any clicking. Oh no.
It was like static nearly.
Oh,
Mhm.
well, I did hear static. It was coming from my headset. Might be my phone.
Didn't sound like that. It wasn't like the did it. No, this was like.
Yeah.
Weird. Alright. We approach the ruins northeast.
Oh.
It's an unknown cube.
Oh.
There
Oh god.
we go.
Oh, whoops. And shortcut. That's no characters.
Devil's anus.
This
Yes.
looks cool.
Thank you. Gotta pull up my tokens here. Come on. There we go. Putting you guys close to the bottom right.
The big explosion.
Yeah, close to that blast. And I will use token, Ada's token to represent the NPCs.
Right. Ruins of.
Near Hall. It is NYRHAL. Mm-hmm.
It's like Narwhal, but better.
Yes. It seems like this was the site of a battle. The large blast kind of giving things away here. To the east, each of these squares is 5 feet. Everywhere you see those little crisscross thingies, it means that that square within them is difficult terrain because of rubble, debris, etc. build up. To the left of the map, you can see that one of the large watchtowers that was on the outside of Near Hall has been collapsed. A large section of it kind of still... Oh, wait, my dumbass. Should be this one. There we go. This is the silhouette of it. So you can see how the watchtowers have kind of crumbled. One's kind of fallen onto the buildings. The one thing that seems to be standing out among all the ruins is a chapel to the center of the town. Fort really would have been more apt for what this town became.
Naughty man.
There's plenty of places it seems to be able to hide and kind of set up a small camp to really be able to recuperate and figure out where to go next, and maybe even find some sort of supplies. We will continue in our Celica, Syria turn order. We have about 10 minutes left, so we'll figure out what we want to do and see where it goes from there. Celica, lead us off.
Okay, well, I'm really interested in the blast, but I want to make sure that this area is safe to go through before we do anything.
Mhm.
So I'll probably be searching through like the ruins and stuff to see if there's any hidden enemies or places that look safe enough for our group.
All right, you want to give me an active perception check?
Sure. I was hoping it was investigation, but perception is fine. Oh,
Yay.
okay.
All right. In the distance, you see some movement.
I see some movement.
Yes. As you kind of step forward, you can see that in the ruin building to the left of the blast, there seems to be a warforged, or what remains of one, stuck in the debris and under rocks and collapsed parts of this building.
I look to the others. I see someone in the rubble over there.
I guess I'll trail behind when it's my turn.
All right. Saya?
Yeah, gonna go help.
All right. So warily, everybody approaches. As you get close, you hear a very droned kind of, "I am stuck. I am stuck." Do we continue
It's
approaching?
I want to do.
I would, yes.
Yeah.
But I'll still be keeping an eye out just in case there's anything else around.
All right. Travelers, I am stuck.
I'm stuck.
How did you get even stuck under there, eh, buddy?
Do not remember. And
As
you
we're
can
trying
see
to
that
figure out-
he is in a state of rather disrepair. You don't see his lower half, and his left arm is kind of like broken upwards.
Ugh.
Oh.
I want to ask him
Alright.
how long he's been here as like I start to go try to help him get out.
Can I do
Unknown cycles.
it?
Go ahead, Syria.
I was gonna say, could I do an Arcana check based off what I told everyone last night to figure out how long he may or may not have been stuck here?
Sure. And Crunch, the NPC Warforged, goes over and kind of figures out the situation.
Wait, got no
You
clue.
do have
Time-
inspiration, by the way, if you want to use that.
Oh yeah, it's towards the end of the night. You get one inspiration a night.
No.
No. You don't get one inspiration a night, but like
It doesn't go away.
oh, it doesn't. Okay.
It only goes
So
away
for-
once you use it. And I'm not giving him
Okay.
out freely, so
No,
Oh,
clearly, time
okay,
is heavily convoluted here. I've got no clue.
yeah. Crunch looks back and says, "He's busted. He is far beyond repair." And the other one says, "I am stuck." Crunch looks back and says that he's stating his name.
Oh, he's stuck.
Yes.
Interesting
Okay.
name.
Crunch looks down and
it-
says, "Would you like me to discontinue your service?" And Stuck says, "No. No."
No disassemble.
Crunch kind of just shrugs and stands up and comes back to the party.
Can he walk?
Is it?
No, he's totally in disrepair. What's up, Celica?
I'm unsure how Warforged work, both in character and out of character because I haven't really dealt with them before.
Mhm.
Is it
They're
a
wooden,
thing where you can?
wooden skeleton over metal endoskeleton.
Is there a thing?
Is there a thing as like a memory core, or we can transfer him to something else for
No.
later?
There's a last message kind of thing that's in their chest, but no, there's no memory core.
Yeah, they have like a
Okay.
black box, but that's it.
Okay, so we can't transfer them to another body or something. Got it.
No.
Hmm.
And even then, the creation of new Warforged is barred by the Treaty of Thornhold.
Okay. All right. Well, sorry, we can't help you.
That's
Alright.
for that's suppose I could do a history check on him to figure out who made him, and then maybe figure out.
Oh, it's House Cannith made. That was the
Uh.
only people who made them.
Hmm.
I
In,
wouldn't know anything about how they do it. Different house.
in the distance, another Warforged is seen approaching. This one. A little bit more sturdy and large with red eyes. Begins to approach the party. Crunch steps forward. And this one stops right about here. Crunch is right about here. He looks back to the party and says, "May I?"
Go right ahead.
Alright, Crunch approaches this other Warforged. They converse back and forth. Saya easily hears the conversation. They talk back and forth. You learn that the other Warforged's name is Lift. He is a service Warforged now. His job was basically to haul stuff around the fort. They have several Warforged in this area, led by Church, who is holed up in the church, in the chapel. And it is almost time for sermon, and Lift is coming here to get stuck to bring to service.
Well, maybe
And-
they can help us find like a stable place to rest or whatnot.
Well, we have to talk to church
Crunch,
first.
yeah, Crunch says we will have to attend service and then speak to Church. That's the only way.
Yeah.
But it seems that they have been dealing with undead here for a long time. And with that, that's where we will end our session for tonight.
Oh.
Oh, a mystery wrapped in an enigma.
It's like a donut, but inside a donut, there's a hole with another donut.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Everybody else that was viewing, we really appreciate you showing up to our first session of Prophecy and Mourning. We have a lot more to come. Tune in. I'll likely be streaming some more Skyweavers this week. I think Shy and Tay are going to finish It Takes Two.
Yeah.
And, Friday we'll be back with Cap Girls and Carbuncles, and Saturday we'll be back with Session 2 of Prophecy and Mourning. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.